in just a second. I'm going to do a quick break before we run into our last shift of this whole marathon. Are you and Tech are going to be on the same account?
Yes, we are on the same account so that we only take up one spot on.
Great. I forgot to double check with you. Have you guys leveled your characters to level 6?
Yes.
Perfect. Give me a moment. I will be right back. Those of you who are hanging out on the stream, maybe you can help fill them in approximately where we are. You've been watching, I think, some on the stream, but I'll be right back.
Hey, Nutty. How's it going?
Hello, how are you? So who is everybody?
Well, I'm Tyler, and I'm playing, I have to remember, Arrowhorn.
Which is a...
He's an elven fighter mage.
Well, fighter, that's good. I was noticing there's a lot more, like, non-fighters, and I was like, oh, I really should have picked a fighter.
Our NPCs are covering that area, too, really well, so...
Hello!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
What name do I use while we're broadcasting?
Loquacia, Rosemary, if you slip up and call me Sammy, it's okay.
All of these things are good, just making sure, because, you know...
I keep being introduced as Rosemary Tiddledoon, but I don't need to do that.
Excellent. And Tech will be here shortly. He's just finishing up a game. Because while we were waiting, he said, I'm going to go get some miles in.
Okay.
And I think Laura Nicole was hoping to join us. I don't know if
Yes, we do. Let me, I've been doing this all weekend.
So, Rosemary, you're playing a cleric?
I am. I'm playing a cleric of Ilmater. Super bubbly and sweet and over-the-top cinnamon roll character.
Right. So yes, I sent Laura the Hangout invite too.
And Tech just screamed up from downstairs. He's like, "How many bloody clerics do we have?" And I said, "All of them."
Yeah.
Are you playing other
Full-hearted clerics.
We're both clerics because he said he was going to make a fighter, so I made a cleric, and then he said, "Oh, I got a great idea for a cleric."
Well,
but it's
also,
great.
What clerics? What gods are you of?
I am of no god. I have been disillusioned into God.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I very shortly.
I believe in the power of good within us all, and that's what I fight for.
Interesting.
My character, it's funny, my notes didn't save, so I had to update them when I leveled my character, but the whole notion of my character is that she was raised to fight for a holy war, and in this war she saw a lot of battle and a lot of blood, and realized that this was not for God, it was for man's desire.
Ooh.
And it haunts her, and to the point that she hears the voices of everyone she kills.
Oh dear! So she's a secular humanoidist.
Yes. Secular humanoidist.
Are you also passive life?
I believe so. I think it's good in life. Where did I put that? I'm still getting used to this D&D Beyond thing. And it's a neat way to build a character, I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really handy once you get used to it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I definitely have basically switched to using it almost exclusively. And since we've been stable for a little while, I am actually going to try to bring back and show you guys your whole little route on the map instead of showing you the one where you're just kind of...
Oh, yes, please.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I like that.
And we have Tech.
All right, great. Well, the other thing is that now that you guys are almost at the city, we're not going to be traveling overland so much, so I can just kind of save it instead of having it be in update mode.
So they ran over and didn't realize how late it was.
Yeah, sorry about that.
The funny thing is, we're like, oh, they're just finishing an encounter. We'll wait for the end of that.
Yeah.
And
All right.
hours
Good to
later.
see you.
All right. So, right now, the way that it shows up on the Hangout, is that, calm down, Luna. Tech is just out of frame.
Oh, hang on.
There you go. Perfect.
He is my shoulder devil.
All right.
There you are.
Hey, Christiana,
Yeah?
you invited the wrong profile.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to... Let me...
I sent the email on Facebook Messenger.
Okay. Hang on. I have too many things open.
I know.
Okay. So, I guess hang up out of this one, and I will try to invite the proper one.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry. Why do I have... There we go.
So, Tech, you want to explain, Brother Tech?
Tech. Imagine the nicest guy on the planet who occasionally hits people with a hammer.
So
Brother
pretty.
Based on a real person.
Based on a real. Wow. Anyway, no. Brother Tech is a peasant monk from a small monastery who got the call for missionary work. And the last time he saw a ragtag bunch of adventurers go through his town, he said, "What the hey?" Picked up a hammer and started following them. And now by level 6, he's seen the world a couple of times. He's seen a couple of dragons. He's seen a couple of things. And he's just out there spreading the good word, doing the good deeds, and smacking people with hammers.
Can we be the nice brigade? Like
Yeah.
the nice people clerics alliance?
If not, you will be by the end of it, because who do you think he hits with hammers?
Given that every single spell of mine is some sort of cruel mockery of the people I'm fighting, I might not fit.
Oh no, did I just... Something just crash? I think I might have a problem.
Reload the map.
Yes, hang on. Things are still sort of happening, but I think... yeah, my computer may be crashing.
Oh,
It's weird that I can still hear you because basically everything on my screen is frozen but the mouse.
And we can still see you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Weird. Interesting. Yeah, it's got some processes frozen, obviously, and then,
Yeah, we're seeing you at no loss of quality or anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know that the stream is working, though.
Oh.
I can check.
Stream's working.
Yeah, stream's showing the same.
Really? Well, I mean, it just may have not caught up yet to the issue. Let's see if I can wake it up out of its... There we go. Okay. It got confused for a second, but then I was able to recover it.
It seems to have caught up, and it seems to be still showing it on the stream.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Oh, we met the goal.
We met the goal.
Oh, did we? I haven't been watching. Did we got more donations?
Apparently
Should
so.
we read out
I've-
donations, Anna?
I'm sorry. What?
When we get a chance, should we read out donations?
Yes, I'll do that here in just a second. That is a good idea.
We're at exactly 750.
Perfect. All right, let me get this new map set up here, and then to show you your journey again. Ugh.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, this is the entirety of your journey so far. Let's see.
Not too bad.
So we're not stopping until we fill in all the little squares, right?
Yeah. That's what
This
they call
map
a jungle Yahtzee. Okay. All right. And then I'll move this so it's not blocking everything in a second. All right.
Just for my notes, Nutty, what was the character's name? Your character's name?
Oh, I'm Nuker. I made it easy.
We'll introduce everybody in a second.
Sure.
So, all right. Yeah. So, over the course of your adventure to date, you started in Port Nyanzaru and made your way down, or up rather, the River Shoshin Star, past Camp Righteous, past Camp Vengeance, left the river in the Aldani Basin, made your way to the plateau city of Umbala, where you met Nanny Poo Poo. Further west to Orolunga, where you met the wise guardian Naga Sajat Mbaza. Then the river Tath south through Ataz Kahakla, that beautiful coral canyon. Further west to Jahaka Bay, where at Jahaka Anchorage you secured a pirate ship. Sailed down past the Cobalt Mountains, past Shilku Bay, past along the wild coast, into the Cauldron, and then, leaving your ship behind, traveled across the land of ash and smoke, in through the jungle, to your current destination. Pretty good, right?
What'll happen next?
All right, so,
Let's just
but yes,
run, go home.
let's take a moment as we enter our last shift of the Extra Life weekend, and let's talk about what donations we've got. Oh, Ash and Dawn was our recent donation for $50.
Wow.
Oh, did
We love her druid.
I sent the new invite? Did she not join?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I thought that I sent it. Sure. Okay. Let's see.
Wasn't she off after 2?
She hang on. She was supposed to be coming back, and we actually had a brief conversation. She popped on and said I sent it to the wrong thingy, the wrong account, and then I sent it to the other one, and she hasn't picked up. So let me try sending that again, or maybe I'm still not doing the right one somehow.
If you copy the link and just send it to her over Facebook chat, that should help her.
Yeah.
Whichever one she wants.
Okay, no, it's still not the right one. She has I have 3 different emails for her in this thing, and they all just come up and.
That's Google being annoying. Because every time you made a page on Google Plus, they made you create a new YouTube account.
Yeah.
And now they're like, yeah, they can all be one, but you can't consolidate the ones you've already made.
Okay, so this should that should have been the right one just now. We're getting.
There we go.
Now you're happy.
Okay. Good. So, I am.
So thank you for your donation.
Yes. And I'm getting distracted by too many different things now, which is why I have generally not been doing this. But we're now at $750 as we enter the final stretch of the Extra Life campaign. Thank you to our own Ash and Dawn having contributed this last $50 here, bringing us to the new goal of $750. So let's take a moment. All of the campaign donations so far, let's reiterate them. We said some of them earlier, but we have me and JT Shea, who got to be named Captain Shea, whose pirate ship you just stole was named after JT Shea.
Oh,
I think you'd make a great pirate.
Oh, Laura Nicole had a previous donation, so this was a second donation. Actually, we'll discuss in a minute if you feel like you're contributing in order to gain some magical item advantage.
Maybe.
Maybe. Betty and Tech have contributed, because that's how you say it. Rosemary has donated. And I'm switching to the other page so I can read the rest. Yay! Asher Samuels has donated. Sarah and David Ellis have donated. That is my brother and sister-in-law. Brenda Bell has donated. That is my mom. Michelle Nichols. John Jennings. Archivos Story Development. Dave Robinson, who got to have one of the guide candidates, David Robinson, named after him. Lee Burdett nominated. Tony Mast nominated. Mike Mayteen, my Talking About Survivor co-host, donated. Paulette Jackson, our own Mother Dragon in the chat, donated. Hugh O'Donnell, Dwight Dunlop. Dunlop got the musician in The Thundering Lizard named after him. Jen Hilton, Diane Delarmo, Alexa Quinto, who donated the Belt of Dwarven Kind that, alas, went down with your Aarakocra friend, Cthulhu.
She was very sad about that.
Yeah. Skinner Co., Acadia Einstein, Nate and Mom, which is, I believe, relations of Rosemary. And then last but not least, Ashen Dawn. So, Ashen Dawn, what would you like to be gaining as part of your contribution, your meta-narrative deities smiling upon you and granting you some magical privilege?
Oh well, see, I was gonna say, if I think a ring of evasion might be fun.
Yeah.
For somebody to find. I don't know how I'm getting reintroduced. Last we saw Ashen Dawn, she was washed down a river.
Yep.
Along with two others.
Yeah. So what we'll say is that at some point, having been separated from your original party, but still determined to pursue the original quest, you hooked up with another expedition of adventurers, because there's lots of them around. Some of them are just treasure hunters. Some of them also have noble endeavors in mind. And you hooked up with your two colleagues here, Nuker and Brother, what was the...
Brother Jack.
Brother, yes. So, you hooked up with them, and you have been on your own adventure through the jungles of Chult, and here now, by sheer coincidence, it's the hands of fate reaching in to pull the strings of the universe and make it work out just so. But let's say that your ring of evasion was something you found along the way.
Oh, fantastic. I'm gonna put it on my character sheet.
Nice. All right, so everyone else just fought off a bunch of axe beaks, and they're enjoying nice roast axe beak for dinner while you're making camp. And let's say the rest of you were sneaking up, unsure if this campfire was going to be someone friendly or not. But then, as soon as you got within view, you realized, I know those guys.
Ashen Dawn! Looks like it shoots to her feet and charges over to hug you.
It's like a hysterical thing because Ashen Dawn looks so different. She's got like twigs in her braids. Her hair's still super gray. Her face has more scars on it, and she's seen better days. But for those of you who have seen her before, she's
So Loquacia goes from just hugging you to like she kind of puts you out at arm's reach, and then like immediately begins. This is something you're familiar with. Like anytime anyone came into contact with anything nasty, she was just like doctor routine. So she is already like making sure that you're all right. You know.
I'm quite battle scars. It's fine. It's fine. It really is.
I take it she knows them.
Yeah,
Oh,
what a crazy random happenstance that they would come across a group of friends like this. But
Right.
do you smell that? Is that roast axe beef?
I hear it's a delicacy.
Yeah. Let me do introductions. Well, I don't know half of you, but I know Yoris, and I know Nola and Loquacia. Sorry, I'm so excited. These are my friends who I met up with after the canoe washed out. Unfortunately, Silence and Cthulhu didn't make it.
Yes, you know.
Well,
it was such a
Kathuki
weird
stayed
thing.
with the rest of them.
I had stopped at this small river to perform one of the 8 daily cleansing that is required of my faith, and it's important. It's important, okay? And it was number 6 of 8, and while I was there, I looked and saw this log floating down the river, and there was our friend Ashen Dawn floating down the river.
So this is Brother Tech.
Hello.
And this is Nuker, and we've been adventuring, I've been trying to find you, but at the same time, just trying to get through. And who are your friends?
So we've collected a few along the way, and of course, and remember, Azaka is still with us.
She waves. I'm glad you're not dead.
You too.
All right. I have lost names.
If you don't mind.
Yoris, make introductions.
Well, joining us, let's see, perhaps least recent, the pair over there, the dragon who smells, of different things. Dragon Bait is his name. He doesn't speak, but he scents, which is quite interesting. And with him, the rather stern-looking fellow is Artis. He has a gift with the cold, if you might say. Has joined us for a quest, as recommended by the Naga, which was quite impressive. And also, this little fellow's named Wardra, formerly the ward of Lord Fellandin, who took a trip off of a cliff, actually. It's quite sad, along with Dante. But never mind, Dante and Fellandin are gone. And then we have Al, the adept gnome over there.
Halfling.
Aravan and Quilda the Panther. If you care to bow or say these are friends, it's quite exciting. And alas, we lost Scott. At least we haven't seen Scott for a while. I'm not sure.
I was not there when you met Scott. I don't recall a Scott in our party.
No, Scott was a kobold from a clan of Scott kobolds who worshipped the dragon Scott. It was already confusing.
Since we have Agnolo back, I think, Agnolo, you would be sad to report when you caught up with everybody that
Actually,
Scott...
Was it Agnolo or Arahorn?
Agnolo.
Agnolo.
Oh, okay.
Stayed behind, and you were sad to report that although you ultimately defeated that Farnute patrol, that Scott, alas, perished in battle.
Never got the mount he always wanted. And finally, I think you know Arahorn. I think you introduced yourself. A fine elf from beyond the veil, so to speak.
Lords and ladies and friends, well met.
One note in particular, Ashendon, as you got this litany of introductions, you recall vaguely the name Artist Simber when you first met with Grandfather Zitembe back in Port Nyanzaru at the Temple of Savras. When you first arrived, he was talking with some shady-looking individuals who were frustrated that Grandfather Zitembe would not help them find Artist Simber.
Oh, yes, and I have that written down. I will want to talk to you, sir, but also I should let my friends introduce themselves. They know their faiths better than anything else. Also, I don't know what you guys look like, so y'all can tell people what you look like.
Brother Tech, would you like to tell people of your faith?
I'm sure they'd rather listen to something much more interesting than that.
What does he look like then?
Brother Tech is imagine that, he's a tall, slight fellow, blonde hair, blue eyes, rather nondescript, always smiling, simple robes, scale mail over top, big hammer, gentle, friendly looking, and a devout monk in the cleric of the Lord of Light, but really boring stuff. I feel like I need to wash my hands again. I'll just be
We could almost be appearance siblings.
This will be happening quite a lot, by the way. Just get used to the rituals. Hello, I am Nuker. I believe I try.
I do believe those are both things clerics do, believe and try.
I'm sorry, say again?
I do believe those are things that clerics do, believe and try.
Yes. Well, I am not your normal cleric. You see, My god is not an actual god. It's rather all of you. I believe in you and the good that you have within you. And people that devote themselves to gods are wasting their time because it's just a tool to be used by the mortals. Anyway,
And this is why Nuker and I are friends.
Nuker is a young woman who, average height, average build, dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes. But you can tell just by looking at her, she's seen things. And she seems to flinch every now and then.
I'm stuck with the idea that in the movie adaptation, the nuclear theme song, "You've Got the Touch" from the original.
Oh, Lord. You've just ruined everything.
All right.
And Brother Fred's is the theme to Monk.
I don't remember that one well enough to sing.
Oh, sorry, Brother Tech. Oh, it's Randy Newman, Jungle Out There. It fits for the setting.
Sure. All right. So.
I will forget all your names, by the way, but that doesn't mean that I've forgotten or do not care of.
I've written everything down.
Just in case, I think we've got introductions. Is you guys doing any more chatting there at camp before you all kind of decide to set out together in the morning?
Well, actually,
I do get a piece of that axe beak.
Sorry, what?
I said, do we get a piece of that axe beak?
Oh, yes, of course, here.
There's plenty.
Where we're going, Ash and Don surely told you about our original quest, yes?
Yes, but tell me more from your perspective.
Oh, well, we set out with the intent of ending the death curse.
That's a good idea.
Sounds like a good plan.
Well, we talked to the guardian of Orlunga, and she told us that the answer for us probably lies in the Forgotten City, which is this ancient city that used to be the center of civilization for Cholt. And then very bad things happened, and now it's full of Yanti. And also, there happens to be a former Red Wizard, he's former because he's turned himself into a Yanti, who's attempting to raise a dark god to devour the world, which probably should not happen. So we want to make that not happen as well.
Yeah. Artist raises his hand and says, I also am interested in killing him so that it can return the magically displaced city where my wife lives.
Yes.
I still want to talk to you, sir.
We were told about Black Obelisk, which probably figures into things.
A black obelisk that was surrounded by snakes?
Yes, I think that was the description.
Vines and snakes, it wasn't really clear.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Does that mean something?
Well, do you remember when I went to the Temple of Savras back many ages ago when we were in town? I asked the grandfather to try to interpret my dream, and that was the place that they said the curse was originating from.
Excellent.
Seems
I'll
right.
together.
Yes, and that is So I do have a vested interest in going there because the nightmares haven't stopped, and I'm afraid that these two might have lost some sleep over my nightmares. I'm sorry. Again.
It's okay, I was up with my own.
Well,
Don't worry about him. He does 5 rituals in the middle of the night. It's all good.
I sleep quite fine myself. I don't know what the problem is. The itchy time. It seems reunited. It's wonderful and good new friends. Hopefully we won't any more accidents.
That sounds
Yes, no more
ominous.
people dying. I would like not to have people die.
If I'm to die, I'd rather die in the destruction of this wizard. That sounds like a good purpose for my body.
Wouldn't it be better if the wizard died and you didn't?
Yes, let's do that then.
Let's aim for that.
Oh,
No,
and sometime let me tell you the story of the 9 spirits who sort of rule over Chult now, or sort of in between, really. But that's a tale for another night.
You'll have to also tell about how we took the pirate ship.
Oh, yes. And
You took a
Metz
pirate
Cuckoo
ship.
as well.
What?
Why don't we tell those stories in the morning as we're traveling?
Good plan.
Indeed.
All right. So we'll assume that you guys fill each other in on like your respective histories. But here's the thing. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. After a few hours trek through the jungle in the morning, you guys realize, looking ahead, that the jungle doesn't continue, and so it takes getting a little bit closer before you realize that it doesn't continue because there's a huge cliff. But as you get close to the edge of the cliff, you see laid out beneath you a city. I'm sending you an email with this new map, and let me see if I can get it up here on this.
This would be Omu.
Yes, there we go. And so yeah, and so as you see this,
That's a city?
yeah,
Oh, there's the city. All I saw was red.
yeah. So you guys are approaching here from the south, which I can only kind of get it. Yeah. So you guys have approached. You're about like right here. On the cliff here. But you guys, as you see this whole map, I didn't realize it was this low res, but that's cool. So you guys, as you're looking over this whole thing, you realize that there's a path with stairs that leads down over here, but elsewhere the cliff is like 150 feet down, and it's pretty crumbly. And also, right where you are, you realize that it's deeper and there's lava at the bottom in part of it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So what you see, the jungle parts to reveal a dead city enclosed by sheer cliffs. Ruined buildings and stone boulevards rise like ghosts from the floor of the misty basin. Colorful birds glide overhead. A waterfall pours into the basin, creating a swollen river that floods much of the city before draining into a deep rift filled with molten lava. A ruined palace lies a few hundred feet from the edge of the steaming abyss. So waterfall here, flooding, and then the palace here. You guys, as I mentioned, are down here, like right around there, looking down at it on the cliff face. You also realize as you're standing there that about 30 yards away from you along the cliff face, a vine-draped gargoyle perches on the cliff top, staring down at the ruined city. It has the face of a devil with its mouth agape in a silent scream.
Isn't it
This
beautiful?
does not look good.
Gorgeous. Imagine. This city, other than the Yuan Ti, probably sat untouched for centuries.
Forgotten? Perhaps?
Only legends still.
Azaka
living.
says, not forgotten, forbidden.
Imagine what wonders we could find down there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I can see why no one would want to come here. I mean, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at that angry face.
I'd love
Look at
to.
his little angry face.
As you guys
Only I
look
could get
around
there.
a little bit, you realize that there are more of these gargoyles. In fact, as far as you can see, there's one of these things almost every 100 feet all along the cliff.
Just
Amazing.
Friends.
quick question: are any of us rogues?
Al's a rogue, yes?
Are you a trap finding rogue?
I am.
I'm a little cautious crossing a line of gargoyles. Could you scope things out for us here?
Sure.
Make a perception check.
I would also say that I can cast Pass Without a Trace. That is one of my prepared spells.
Well, Azaka also says there's also a cliff right here. We could go to where the stairs are.
I just want to check.
If you want to do it the easy way.
It's your expedition. I just thought I would point it out in case you hadn't noticed.
It's always good to check.
I'm preferring the stairs myself.
What do you want?
You inspect this gargoyle, and as far as you can tell, there's no mechanical moving parts of any kind. It doesn't necessarily tell you if you don't see any signs of glyphs or anything, but it's hard to say for sure. There's no mechanical trap, though, you're pretty sure.
Is there signs of fires or movement?
I'm going to check the first few steps.
Well, you're not at the steps yet, unless you guys want to go there now.
Yeah, let's head to the stairs.
Well, from our higher vantage.
Wait a minute, guys. Is there anybody who can detect life? Because I've got this feeling that after dark, these guys are going to wake up.
I mean, they're draped in vines, but I can maybe do an Arcana check. Check for magic.
Yeah, okay.
Does anyone use an arrow?
I do.
Do you mind if I borrow one?
Go right ahead.
I've got a new song I'm working on, and it's beautiful.
I didn't. Did you say the result, Rose? I didn't hear it.
Nope. Sorry, I'm just checking on my modifier real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. That is an Arcana check. Where is my Arcana? There it is. Okay, 19.
Okay, so with an Arcana check rather than a spell like Detect Magic, you're not, going to be able to tell anything for sure. But you are aware that there certainly is such a thing as a creature that is a gargoyle, and when it decides not to move, it is essentially indistinguishable from an actual regular stone gargoyle. So without some sort of a specific magic detecting thing, it would be impossible to tell the difference.
Oh, I do have detect magic.
Okay.
All right.
I cast detect magic.
Do you want to cast it as a ritual? If you take 10 minutes, you don't have to use the spell slot.
Do we have time?
Sure. There's nobody firing on us.
All right. Well,
to wash my hands. Excuse me.
Take a rest, and I will cast this as a ritual.
You guys, as you cast detect magic, and a veil kind of falls over your eyes, this filter that gives you the ability to sense magical energy. You do detect that these gargoyles are in fact gargoyle creatures that probably have something that would make them decide to animate themselves. You don't know necessarily what it would be, but they are not ordinary stone.
Probably something deciding to climb or fly in or out.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I've communicated all of this to all of you.
What would happen if we pushed them all over the cliff first?
They will probably come to life.
And then attack us.
No.
And that would be bad.
Well, yeah. I was hoping they would just shatter.
They have wings. They not? They have wings, right?
Yep.
They do.
They're gargoyles.
Most likely they'd wake up, turn around, and attack whoever pushed them.
What? They are.
Okay, let's not do that.
Well, I suppose we just have to be alert to that then, and go down the stairs, because we don't all have the feather fall capability, correct?
Some of you do.
The rest of us will take the slow way down.
Yes, we'll take the slow way.
All right, so you make your way over to this side where there's a series of stairs that descend into this valley. And as you do, where's my description of that. As you make your way and pass into this sort of first landing, there's an initial building there. A guardhouse stands near the entrance to the city. Arrow slits are cut into its limestone walls, and a lopsided iron portcullis hangs over the gateway, beyond which you see an open plaza.
Moving on.
Are you looking inside, or?
We should definitely look inside.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to make sure nothing's going to come up on us from behind.
The
I'm
entire
gonna cast
time I'm-
Pass Without a Trace because
Okay.
it needs to be done.
All right.
All right.
So, as long as all of you are staying within, I believe, 30 feet.
I think that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. You will, when you make stealth checks, you're going to make them at a +10. And so, in fact, actually, you check after you check this building. I'll ask if you're proceeding stealthily or what, and we'll get to that in a second. You look inside the building. Much of the interior has collapsed into rubble. Creepers cling to the walls, and high grasses sprout between the flagstones amidst evidence of long-dead campfires. One wall is covered with graffiti, some words painted, others etched. And some of it is in other languages. You know what? It's all in common. I'm just going to say that. It's all in common.
Okay.
And but it appears to have been written by several different people over a period of time. And so, what here's what the various messages say. One says, "Fear the fangs of Ras Nasi."
Okay, that's the red wizard.
One says, "Eric, I've gone in search of the 9 shrines. V."
Probably
said-
9 spear.
One says, "The puzzle cubes are the key."
That mean anything to anyone?
One says,
Not yet.
One says, "Beware the frog monster."
Now that does.
Well, we know who that is.
Yeah. One
Who's that?
says, one says, "Who is Unk?"
We know that one too.
Yeah. One says, "All hail the King of Feathers."
Did Kazuki survive?
I don't know. I hope so.
One
But in this
says,
case,
one says,
Sorry.
"The snakes are not what they seem."
Always.
And then the last one says, "Kubazan equals bravery. Shagambi equals wisdom. Moa equals question mark."
I'm going to take a closer look at that middle sentence there. Kubazan equals bravery. What was this middle one?
Shagambi equals wisdom.
Yes. Cool.
So obvious.
So, I think this may be the home of the trickster gods.
The 9 spirits. Yeah. Remember that story I was going to tell you?
So there's tricksters.
Trickster spirits. They filled in the void when Uptow decided to turn its back on the rest of the Chult. They came in and were worshipped. A rather amusing story about how they all tried to get Uptow's attention and failed, except for Unk, in fact. Made him cry.
Okay. I'm looking up something because it's relevant here in a second. And I always forget how this...
So tell me about this Unk guy.
Up is a flail snail, or it's supposed to have been a flail snail.
Spiritual flail snail, perhaps.
Wait, was he killed by a bunch of adventurers and they had trouble figuring out how to get his shell back to town?
No, I think the young spirit hasn't been killed, but I've heard that flail snails are terrible, terrible creatures that must be killed on sight whenever encountered.
I don't know. Some judge me.
I like snails.
Stew of virtues, that's what it was, yes.
So,
Yes.
as you guys are hanging out in there, that's what you find. Are you guys proceeding further into the city? And if so, are you attempting? We're essentially going to have slightly modified versions of the travel rules from before, where you're going to choose if you're moving through the city like at a fast pace, a medium, normal pace, or a slow pace.
I suspect stealth would be good. The Yuan Ti are supposedly all over this place, and if Raz and C is actually here, well, it would be
I'm
bad.
all about sneaking.
Okay.
I
and
think
with
stealth.
so
That's
pass without
sneaky.
trace. Yeah, you'll be sneaky. Let's see.
So we each get a +10 to that?
Yeah. So, let's have each of you roll a stealth check and add your +10.
Okay.
20
Nat 20.
Whoa.
and 19 for Quilda.
20 for Agnolo.
Okay.
37 for me.
Alright. You guys are
I'm an
super lucky that
automatic.
you,
So, Brother Tech is 21,
okay.
and I am 30.
I am
Alright.
30 as well.
You guys are super lucky about that pass without trace because Artist trips going down one of these stairs and starts to kind of clatter, but you hear the spell kind of magically muffling the sound.
I'm an automatic 21, but I didn't bother.
Automatic 21?
Yep.
Oh, because of your dependable skill or whatever that is?
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
here.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead and roll it, but,
Yeah, you know,
Just
Be
impressive.
impressive.
Still could roll a
You
1.
might disappear.
my stealth is a 10 without the additional 10.
okay.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying that you might as well roll it. It could be really high, and you impress everybody.
Still could be a 1.
Well, and actually it wasn't, so it's 24.
All right. So yeah, you guys are pretty sure you're moving pretty stealthy here, and generally speaking, this pace that you're making, you're going to be moving through the city. If you look at the scale here, you're moving approximately. Let's see. You're going to be making 200 feet every 10 minutes or so. So that's just in terms of scale, that's kind of the distance that you're moving. Let's see if I can get it to show the scale on this stream. Not really. It's all going to be, I can't make it go below the, well, here, this is what I can do. Watch this. Oops. There we go.
100 feet is like the size of one of those houses.
Yeah. So that, not that it's going to make a super difference unless we're like in a combat tactical sort of situation, but just for reference, that's kind of the speed you're moving through, because there's lots of, overgrowth and vines, and, it's not difficult terrain exactly, but it's also not like walking down a regular, well-maintained street. So, as you kind of pass down through there, basically each building you come to, if you want to search it, you tell me. But I don't know whether you're looking for something specific or you're keeping an eye out. But this is a city, so there's a lot of buildings. It's going to take time to search all of them. Up to you. But so you're passing down. You're going between these two buildings here.
When we were up on the cliff, it occurred to me that we might do well looking in that circular enclosure on the eastern side of the city that looks more secure than the other areas.
Which is actually the castle, which is what I was about to suggest.
We didn't see any like black glinting from anywhere in the city up above, did we?
Not from where you were.
Alright.
So we have to cross water to get there. I believe there's a narrowing not far from the waterfall.
Yes, it looks like, I think I saw some kind of bridge.
Yeah. Let's make our way for there.
Oh, it looks like a bridge.
Yours'
All right.
head is on a swivel, trying to see everything.
All right. So are you passing through? Are you going to walk along sort of this main road here, or are you trying to sneak between alleys and so on, or what?
I
Let's-
prefer to stay closer towards the edges of the buildings? Is it more in the shadows? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Let's move along the cliff between the buildings and the cliffside to the east.
Like to the
Staying.
east? Oh, like here along this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Along there, with the with favoring the west side of that area, so there's no chance of being spotted as we're moving along that cliffside.
Okay. So
Sounds good.
let me kind of cover what you see. Excuse me, on the way there. Um, as you are making your way in this direction, as you get close and you can kind of see this bridge to a little pinnacle of land where most of this area has crumbled away, you actually notice out on this little platform here, you see a small tribe of about 6 veggie-pygmies, which are sort of fungus-based humanoids. And they have a grung tied up, and they look like they're leading it to the edge.
What's a grung?
A grung is like a little short frog humanoid, like poison dart frog version of humanoid.
But we were told to beware of the frogs.
Beware of the frog.
Oh,
The
I
grung
remember
is
right, the grung.
struggling, but tied up. The veggie pygmies are kind of dancing around him.
A grung is one of the spiritual animals we rescue it in case that is of use.
this isn't
Probably not Nang Nang himself.
That's not our monkey. Moving.
They're still dancing, but it looks like they're.
Whatever ritual they're about to do.
I have a good feeling about saving him. I think.
Do you?
Well, I'd wait for a second. I don't want to interfere with whatever ritual they're doing. I mean, they are on that precipitous ledge overlooking the giant pit full of lava, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're about to throw him over the edge. So
They're absolutely going to throw him over the edge.
Looks like their dance is getting close to being done. They're going into the big finish. Lots of.
Does anyone? Can anyone tell if this looks like it's a sacrificial thing? Like maybe they're doing it to appease the gargoyles?
I cast Expeditious Retreat.
Are you running in that direction?
Yes.
All right.
Well, that kind of makes up the mind, I suppose.
All right, I'm following.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Not quite so.
So as you run and you're crossing over this bridge onto this relatively small little platform, they definitely see you coming and they turn to kind of face your oncoming attack.
All right. Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right.
Ha ha!
So let me get all these NPCs.
You have an 11. You have a -1.
Well, hold on just a second. I'll give you a range, and you guys let me know when you're in it. But I have to kind of deal with all the NPCs first. So good that you have the number. Hold on to it for a second. Okay. Ozaka gets 15. 15, and Dragonbait gets 14. And Artist gets... Whoops. Let's see. Excuse me. Artist gets 4. He's been rolling low for initiative. He doesn't have a low dexterity. And then Osaka, Dragonbait, Artist, and then the monsters. Okay. So now, anyone have 20 to 25?
I do.
Okay.
Erebon.
Erebon has what?
Natural 20 plus 5, that's 25.
All right. 25. I bet you're going first. Okay. Anyone else with 20 to 25? How about 15 to 20?
15.
All right. Anyone from 10 to 15?
Ash and Dawn.
12.
Ashen Dawn has 13.
I thought you rolled.
Oh, sorry, 17.
Okay. Brother Tech has 17.
9.
Okay.
And Yolo has 12.
All right. Hold on. And 12. Okay. I've lost track. So I have Brother Tech. I have Erevan. I have Ashen Dawn. I have Agnolo. I have Yoris. Who am I missing still? Loquacia, what's yours? I'm sorry, say again? One?
One.
All right.
And I've got a 4.
All right.
And Coda got 9.
Okay. 4.
And Arrow.
And Al has 17.
Arahorn has what?
5, but it was a natural 1, if that counts.
Not really. Okay, so I've got Erevan and Quilda. I've got Eurus, Ashen, Anyola, Arahorn, Nuker, Loquacia, Brother Tech. Am I missing anybody? Nuker? Did I
Yes.
think I said Nuker?
Yeah, you said me.
Okay, I think I've got everybody, but shout out if I don't give you a turn.
Okay.
Doubting.
Erevan, you are first up as it is right now as we enter this turn. These things you are presumably racing toward them, but they are still about 100 feet away.
Dash.
Okay. So you make it, 60 feet toward them?
70. My movement's 35.
All right, yeah, 70 feet. So you close to within 30 feet of them. All right. These things, these little fungus creatures, you realize now that there are 5 that look like sort of regular. One that looks like it's their chief, and one they have a weird sort of dog-like animal thing with them. But the ones that look like regular are acting first, and they are pulling out slings. And right now, Erevan is the only one that's within their normal range, so they're all attacking you.
Yay!
That's a 12. 12 misses or hits? Erevan? Are you guys frozen? Uh-oh.
No, we can hear you.
No,
I'm
Still there?
Ken and Ken and Maria look frozen to me.
Yep, same here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're frozen, unfortunately. Okay, so...
Oh,
But you can see on our character sheet, right?
Yeah. So let me, Okay, wait, there you are. Okay, so, Erevan, you got 5 of these things throwing slings at you. So, does a 12 hit?
You're muted.
Hey, you froze up for a bit.
You guys
couldn't hear
froze
you.
from our end. So, yeah. There's 5 of these things throwing slings at you. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay. How about an 11?
Nope.
16.
Yes.
Okay, that's 1 hit. 14?
No.
Okay. And that's another 11. So that sounds like 2 hits that give you, well, not that much. 6. Total of 10 bludgeoning damage for both hits. Bonk, bonk. You're just flinging little rocks at you. Because you're the one that's in immediate range already. Brother Tech, you're still 100 feet away from these things.
Yes. Is there a holy man, religious leader, boss type dude, or are they? Just
There is
What?
one that looks like a chief, like he's a
Yeah,
little
one bigger.
fancier looking.
Silence on him.
All right. What's the range of that spell?
120 feet.
Oh, okay,
And
great, great.
I make a 20-foot sphere around him.
Okay. So does he make a saving throw or anything?
No.
Okay. Oh, you just make a sphere, so like it's just you cancel out any noise around him.
Exactly.
Did you just incorporate the cone of silence?
Yes. It's
All
not
right.
a cone. The sphere of silence.
Yeah. So you hear the various sort of weird little clicking sounds that they were making. You know, a bubble sort of goes over them. I got hair in my mouth. Dog hair. Blech.
I thought you were doing the bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as this sort of sphere of silence, some of them do look around like they're a little bit confused, like something's happened.
Does that pretty much cover the entire space? It's a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius, yeah, it's going to cover most of that whole
Yeah.
little bubble
Nice.
there. All right. Are you moving also?
Yeah, and I'm moving forward at my my rate if I can.
Okay. Yeah, so
That-
you'll get, if that's 30 feet, then you are within 70 feet then.
Okay.
That pinnacle looks like it's like 100 feet across.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of looking at the scale. Yeah. The pinnacle is about 100 feet, but it's you've got it to where they were all kind of clustered around their little prisoner.
Okay.
So I'll say they're all within it for now, but could run out of it. All right. So, Oh, that's their little dog thing. Okay. They call it a thorny. It's named a thorny.
And your little dog, too.
Yeah, and it kind of charges out in front of the others, but it's like it's not leaving the group, but it looks like it's ready for something. Okay. That is Yoris. Yoris is up next.
I walk forward at my normal pace, and I utter a cluster of fingers. Not long would it linger. My mage hand appears.
Okay. So you're within
And that's
70 feet of them. You've conjured your mage hand. All right.
About 30 feet from me.
Yeah. Okay, so you moved forward 30 feet,
I moved
conjured
forward
it
30,
another 30 feet. Okay,
That's right. It's right
All
at
right.
the edge of my ring.
gotcha. Okay, it is Azaka's turn. She is dashing in their direction. She gets... in fact, you know what? She is going to go ahead and turn into... she's going to use her action and become an actual tiger form. She's turned fully into tiger shape.
Something Ashendon hasn't seen.
Yeah, Ashendon and is probably startled by that development.
Ash and Dawn is really excited by this.
Yeah, so she uses her action to transform and then runs 40 feet in their direction in tiger form. Okay, Dragonbait is also running in their direction. He is dashing. And I believe that he has a speed of 30 feet. Yes, so he gets 60 feet towards them. Yeah, and okay. Ash and Dawn, you're up.
Oh man, I should. I'm very tempted to do my own wild shape, but I'm gonna refrain and instead move forward 20 feet
Okay,
and cast Entangle
all right. All
around them. It
Okay.
does. It's an area of 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get free, they have to make a strike save
Right.
of 14.
All right. You have conjured vines all around these creatures, and so let's make those saves for them. The thorny dog-like creature rolls a natural 20, so it's not restrained. The chief, he rolled a 19, so that's actually a 21 for his save. But now the regular guys, That's an 8, so that's not gonna work. 17. Wow, another. That's a 15. What are they trying to beat?
14.
Okay. Okay. 2 of them are restrained, so unfortunately you didn't get as many of those as you might have hoped. 2.
Darn. Oh well.
It is still difficult terrain all around them, though.
Yeah.
All right. Are you moving any further forward? You moved only just 20 feet so far?
I think I have 15. Yeah, I've got 15 feet left, so let's do that.
All right. So you have closed from the original distance of 100 to 65.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and YOLO, your turn.
Okay, I'm going to use the bonus action from my expeditious retreat to move 30 feet closer.
All right.
And then move 30 feet closer. And that'll put me in range for Acid Splash. I will... are there 2 of them close together to each other?
Right now, they're still kind of all in a pack.
Okay, I will target one of the smaller ones and the big guy with the 2... And by the way, this is not a 2-hit. They get a save at DC 14.
Okay.
A dex save at DC 14.
Okay, so one of the regular guys is rolling, and he gets an 18 for his save.
That saves.
Yeah. The chief only gets an 11.
That does not. He takes 2d6 damage.
Okay. 2d6 damage. So how much is that?
Oh, 5.
Okay.
No damage for making the save.
Okay. Let me save it here. Okay. Have to track the hit points now that you guys are hitting stuff. Makes it all complicated on me. Okay. It is now Quilda's turn. Quilda the Panther.
Alrighty. She is going to close the distance. Her movement rate is 50 feet, so she's dashing 100.
Okay.
And that'll be good.
Gets into range, melee range. All right. This is where it is the chief's turn, and especially with, I think because he just took acid splash damage from Anyolo, and actually with Quilda the Panther also, also in immediate range. What he does is he kind of looks like he concentrates and goes, and then poof, this cloud of kind of powdery stuff, sprays out from all around him. And so Quilda and Anyolo make a Constitution saving throw.
Ugh,
Okay.
Don't inhale. Brother Tech, you might have to wash your hands again.
Oh, I only got a 5.
Okay, Quilda beats the saving throw and is not poisoned, and so no damage at all. But so Anyolo, you are currently poisoned and are going to take damage on the start of each of your turns, but you can make a new saving throw each time too.
Okay.
But yes, you accidentally breathed in some of these gross moldy spores.
Okay.
Groovy.
Yeah. Arrowhorn, your turn.
Okay, I move up 30 feet, and I think that puts them in my range of my bow of 150.
Oh, well, yeah, you were already within that range, but yeah, you're definitely now. Yeah.
Okay, and then I take aim at the chief,
Okay.
and 13 for the first arrow.
13 misses. It
And 14
sails through
for
a little
the
tuft
next
on
one.
his head. 14, you said?
Mhm.
14 hits.
Ah, yay. I'll take it.
All right.
Maybe. 4, so that's 8 points of damage.
All right. Thunk. and he's got kind of spongy fungus-like flesh, and so the arrow kind of actually sails right through his body, doing some damage, but he doesn't seem like overly concerned, but it definitely hurt him. But I mean, it's not like if a human, like, he doesn't seem like he has organs exactly. All right. Are you moving closer as well? You moved your 30 feet, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all for now.
Nuker!
Aha! Okay. So I am just at the edge there. I'm trying not to get too close because, ew, they look dirty and gross, and I don't want to be
So you were
near them.
100 feet. Are you moving closer or no?
Nope.
All right.
But I am going to use, where is it? Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
So, what does that do? Excellent. So, I'm trying to see if they get to do it's a flash of light on a hit, target makes, okay, so I have to do a regular roll. So, yeah, they get a save.
Okay.
And it is a 12. Does that hit?
You're aiming at the chief?
Sure, yeah.
The 12 does not hit.
Dang it. Oh well.
This bolt of arcane energy sails forth and disappears out of sight as it passes over this steamy, bubbling cauldron of lava.
Oh, I should have done that at a higher spell. Oh well.
All
Whatever,
right.
doesn't matter.
So, Artis, his turn finally. And what is he doing? He's doing something good probably. He is going to, so some of what his good stuff is not good for if there's a grung there that you don't want to have frozen.
It's true.
He is going to, I think for right now, he's just going to dash in that direction too. So he closes to within 40 feet, but does not take an action. All right, Loquacia.
All right. I have to be within 30 feet for Sanctuary, unfortunately.
Yeah, I knew I was missing someone. Al, what was your initiative? I didn't write it down. 7?
7.
Okay.
Oh, you go before me.
Yeah, so you exactly. Let's have you now.
Okay. I believe my crossbow is a range of 120.
Okay.
So I'll do normal movement, which is 22. 26.
All right. 26. 26 hits. Well, are you aiming at the chief? Or,
oh yeah.
Or all right. 26 hits.
Okay. Would they be affected by my poison?
Well, I mean, you don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. 7 of piercing.
Okay.
And 3 of poison.
So this was your crossbow?
Yep.
Yep. So that's a total of 10?
Yep.
It's hard to tell at this distance, but the crossbow bolt does definitely hit it, and it kind of knocks back a little bit. It does damage, but I just mean it's like it would be hard to tell if poison is happening at this range. You don't know what how these things react. But yeah, that one is looking a little weak, especially with you guys focus firing on it. So now, Loquacia.
Okay. So since Loquacia has to be within 30 feet to do Sanctuary, she's at 100 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even at a full dash, she's not within range. So she will do a full dash. And can she shove a dose of berries in her mouth as she's running?
Yeah, okay, I'll allow it.
Cool.
Make a Constitution check to try to chew and swallow berries while you're sprinting.
Awesome. Sounds fantastic. Ooh, not terrible. That is a 16.
16. Yeah, you get him down. There's a scary moment there where it seems like it's going down the wrong way, but you got it. All right. So you have sprinted towards them and closed your distance. So, Erevan, you're back up. Everybody got a turn, right?
Yep.
Do sword attack.
All right.
22 for the first.
All right. 22 hits.
14 for the second.
Okay. 14 also hits.
Yes. 8 points for the first.
Okay. Chop.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the number for the second.
6 for the
6.
second.
You cut this thing's head off.
Yeah.
And it falls down limp. All right.
That second part is important.
Yeah. So it is all of the regular Vegapygmies their turn now, and as they see you destroy their chief, they all look, kind of hang their heads, and then the two that are not restrained by the vines throw themselves off the edge.
Oh.
They jump off into the lava, and the two that were restrained try to break their restraints. That's 8. Probably not going to do it. And a 2 is not going to do it either. So 2 of them are still restrained by the entangling vines, but the other 3 have just thrown themselves off of the edge.
Oh.
This is what religion does.
That's... Oh. I feel bad about that. I just wanted to rescue the frog. Didn't really...
We still need to do that.
So, Brother Tech, you're next in the initiative.
What is the distance between me and Agnolo?
Well, I would say probably if you well, how far did you run last time?
My regular move, so 30 feet.
Yeah, so
you're 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go up to him and put my hand on his shoulder and lesser restoration to remove the poison.
That happens.
Excellent.
Excellent.
All right.
No damage then.
The thorny is kind of bent over the body of the chief, and it kind of nuzzles the head, and it moves away, and then it kind of just lays down next to him.
Oh, now I have guilt.
I'm picturing Ewoks, only much like.
Now you have guilt?
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say we're out of initiative. You still have the thorny, which doesn't seem hostile anymore, and 2 of these things trapped in the vines that are kind of at your mercy. And then there's still this grung who is tied up with vines and still struggling.
Can I make friends with the thorny?
Do you guys want me to bring him back? You guys seem really upset about this chief being dead. I don't think it's going to help.
If he's not dead, then we could heal him a little, but they've already jumped off the... Oh.
He cut his head off.
I can rectify this.
Just cut it off. We can't...
There is no coming back from death.
Agnolo says to Brother Tech, is that for real? Are they really mourning this creature that was about to sacrifice a frog?
No, I don't think they feel bad for the dead guy. I think they feel bad for the dog that lost its master.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you guys would guard against those 2 that are trapped in the vines there, I'm gonna go try and free our grung friend over here.
Good idea.
Okay. Be careful. They might be toxic to the touch.
Yeah.
Is anyone else hurt, by the way?
I am. I'm down 10.
All right, come here. Okay.
I walk to the edge of the silent zone and not entering it, but my hand will.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it.
To try to untie the grung as well.
Okay. So briefly, we got a couple things going on here. So first, let's have Erevan, after you get healed. You wanted to try to make friends with the thorny?
Yes.
All right, so you normally might do something like animal handling. This thing is actually like a fungus. So I'm going to have you make a nature check first.
Cooking.
Horrible.
He's friendly and delicious.
So, while this is happening, what was that?
17.
Yeah, you kind of approach it, and you were the one that just cut its master's head off. It's a little wary of you still.
Yours, remind me to teach you the song of the mushroom.
Or something.
Okay, so let's, Brother Tech, you went, and Yoris was going to use Mage Hand to assist, I guess, attempting to untie it. I'm going to say you did not hear the advice to maybe not touch the grun's skin because you had entered the silent zone.
Right.
Nice.
It's all right.
Yeah, so while
No one can hear me scream in pain either. So.
while you are untying him, you are successful in untying him, but your fingertips start to tingle a little bit. So please make a Constitution saving throw.
This is why the Clockwork Doctor says to always wear gloves.
Why do you think I wash my hands 8 times a day?
It's ironic, right, that this happens to you.
Yes. Oh, yes. What do you mean?
15.
15. You feel it tingling a little bit, enough to sort of alarm you, especially with your sort of cleanliness issues. But you feel that your natural constitution is sufficient to avoid being poisoned by this thing.
A
And
little
you
spicy,
are,
but not
yeah.
too bad.
You are able to free this this little grung, who immediately grovels at your feet, and he's speaking in some sort of grung language, going.
Have we dispelled the silence yet?
Yeah, so you don't hear that. You just see him making various groveling stuff. It's your silence spell, so you could probably dispel it anytime you want.
I think that snap was him dispelling.
Yeah. So
I just thought about this. All of my healing spells are heal by touch. It doesn't say what the touch is. So can it be a hug?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, sure.
So yeah.
So yeah, this thing is groveling at your feet and making croaking noises.
Up, little grung. Get up. I'm using the haft of my mace to try to just motion to him to get up because I'm not touching him again.
All right.
Yoris, do you think you could communicate with it?
Well, I've moved to a different song. I can do it if we feel it's necessary. But, little grung, do you happen to speak common? As it is.
Did somebody in this group perhaps speak, maybe it's primordial or something like that?
I speak primordial.
Do you recognize any of that?
Didn't sound like Memorial.
It is speaking grung. So unless you know grung, you don't understand it.
Yeah. No, this is not primordial. Primordial is very different. This is probably the language of its people.
Okay. Well, then we need to try and translate. I don't have that memorized.
Just a moment, I'll write it up.
In the meantime, I can't remember your name, character name rather, but Marie.
Arabin?
Yes. I give you a little touch with my pinky, and you got 7 points back.
Thank you.
Let me just mark that off. There we go.
How impressive.
Yeah. You're hugging. I'm a. I have to.
I will go
Only
towards
by
the ground.
Yeah, fist bumps.
We cover the whole spectrum of touch.
I will go towards the grung. The words are all mine to command all the time. I'll speak with you now rather than grovel and bow. We'll speak aloud just fine. And I cast tongues.
All right. So for the sake of convenience, we're just gonna play like you can all understand it now. I mean, we'll
I'll
say
relay.
that you're So as you cast that, and what do you say anything after that?
Hello, little drung. You should be able to understand me now.
Oh, you can speak. That's good. I thought you might all be just speaking gibberish.
Different languages. He thought we were speaking gibberish. Why were these people trying to... I don't know what they were trying to do to you.
They were trying to sacrifice me because they thought it would bring the spirits back. Thank you so much for saving me. My father will shower you with gold if you escort me back to his shrine.
Ah, the Shrine of Nung Nung?
Hang on just a second. Yes, that's right. The Shrine of Nung Nung, that's where my family lives.
Is it far?
It's across the city, behind the palace.
Oh, well, seems like the right direction. What is your name, then?
I am, I have the name, just a sec. My name is Imbok.
Imbok. Nice to meet you. I'm Yoris, and these are my traveling companions.
Thank you all for saving me. Those veggie pygmies are scary, and they don't listen, they don't speak properly like you and me.
Sorry, I did lose the name as I was thinking of something else. What was
Imbok.
that again?
Imbok.
Imbok.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is Imbok. He won't understand what you're saying, but I'll translate if needed.
He waves a long spindly fingers with sort of little webbing in between them.
At the Temple of Nung Nung, I believe you mentioned your father would provide us with
He will
gold.
shower you with gold to reward you for saving me.
Shower us with gold.
There's the payment for
Just
the
on the other-
pirates.
The temple is just on the other side.
Incidentally,
of the
this
city.
is what these little grung guys look like.
Yes. What color is it?
This one is green.
Green. Okay.
Don't touch him.
When you say shower us with gold, you are talking like physical solid gold, yes?
Yes, of
Not a
course.
metaphor.
What other
Oh,
kind of
excellent,
gold
excellent.
would there be?
You don't want to know.
We encountered some molten gold, and that was quite unpleasant.
Oh,
Oh
good.
dear.
If it's like molten rock, I wouldn't like that at all.
No, you wouldn't.
No. Well, can you lead us safely through the city?
Well, there are many dangers in the city. After all, you rescued me. But I can show you the way.
Good.
Could
And-
you ask about the obelisk?
Yes, we're also looking for an obelisk covered in vines or snakes.
What's an
Somewhere here.
obelisk?
A long rock made of black with a pointy top.
Oh, that is at the north end of the city.
That's north end then.
Yes. But that is not the way to my father's shrine.
No, but that would be another destination. We'll take him another time. But we may want to take our new friend back home.
Well, we did go through the trouble of rescuing him, so I do think that we should take him home, but then we really must make all haste to the obelisk.
That was good. Remember that we're going to need some gold to pay the sailors when we get back, so gold would be a good idea.
And I'm sure his people know more about this town than we do so far.
Especially
While-
with the red wizard, maybe.
True. Do you know of Razmbi? Yes, Razmbi. Razmbi. Pardon me, this might
I
not
don't
know.
know that name.
A wizard who sought to become Yuan Ti.
Yuan Ti, are those the snake people?
Yes, I believe so.
There are lots of those. They mostly live under the palace.
Under the palace, you say? And their leader is there too?
I guess so. I don't go down there.
Probably
That's a good idea.
better idea. Well then,
And-
folks.
His people are near the palace. Did we say past it?
Oh,
Just on the
my
other
father's
side.
shrine is on the other side of the palace. We can go around.
Okay. But then we'll have to double back, of course. Right. So, let's be going then. Yes?
Yes.
I
Thank
have
you
this for the
again
next.
for saving me.
I have this ability for the next hour,
Okay.
so we can continue if we need to talk to him or anyone else for that matter.
Okay, so you guys start making your way. Let's have you all make another stealth check, because that last little encounter was not super stealthy.
Right.
Do we have any pass without trace magic?
That lasts an hour still?
Yes,
No.
it lasts an hour.
Yeah, so as
Not
long as you
bad.
all get back within the little radius, it should still be good.
Yeah. So Ashen Dawn has a 27.
My God, 31.
That's a 1.
25.
So someone. So 11, though.
Yeah, Brother Tech rolled a natural 1, but there's no crit fails, so you're okay with the 11.
As I basically start walking through town like a one-man band kit, bolts.
But the spell goes. And I rolled a 12, so that's 22.
All right. Okay, so you guys think you're you're not you're not the stealthiest, but you feel like you're doing okay, and you don't sense anyone around or following you or anything.
Okay.
So you're making your way up
is one of
this
those moments.
direction.
Brother Tech finds himself in one of those moments where, everybody has this, where you think you're talking at normal conversational tones, but you end up talking a little bit louder than you intended.
Yep.
Brother Tech, we might be a little stealthier if you didn't keep washing your hands.
But this Mbot guy, he's really fascinating, and isn't he cute? I mean, just look at the little dude.
Yes.
Oh, Justin and Trish Deal just made another $25 donation to Extra Life.
Guys.
Yes. A last lingering gift from Scott. Scott's blessing is upon you.
Justin and Scott.
Let's find something weird to try.
So, as you guys are making your way north here, you realize that this building is a little bit in the way. You can kind of skirt in between, like right here, but it's kind of narrow to go that way. It would probably be a little risky to avoid falling over this crumbly cliff into the lava. So you might want to go the other way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible to go that way, but you'd have to make a roll for it.
I'm assuming we're following Imbek.
Okay, Imbach. Okay, yeah, so
Imbach.
he was going to lead you that way. But as you're passing this building right here, it is obviously a shrine of some kind. A ruined shrine stands at the heart of this walled compound. Tall monoliths flank the entrance, decorated with images of a jaguar with 6 snakes sprouting from its shoulders. A stone door is set into the shrine beyond.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yes.
that is.
Yeah, we probably want to avoid that.
The race for notes is on.
Was
Imbek,
that
is this a scary place?
Shagambi.
Imbach just had been going to just lead you right by it, and if you ask him about it, he just said, "Yes, that's Shagambi's shrine."
Kamadan. Mm-hmm. Do you see many people coming in and out of these shrines?
Not usually, but sometimes adventurers come looking for treasure. Mostly they die.
Probably yes.
I love him.
Is there anyone who actively worships here, or is it abandoned?
Oh, not anymore. Not since all the spirits are dead.
How do spirits die?
Probably
Oh.
pretty painful.
No.
I don't know exactly, but there was something that came through a while back, and it killed the 9 trickster gods.
Oh. Oh, goodness.
Do you know what?
I don't know. I stay away from anything that can kill a god.
That's a good plan.
Probably yes.
Does sound fairly reasonable, yes.
They were only trickster gods, so I mean, it can't be that bad.
All gods are bad.
So as he's continuing to lead you through, and you're moving at a normal pace, as you mentioned. These buildings are ruined buildings. Without checking inside, you don't know what's in there, but they don't seem special in any particular way. And you're heading for this what looks like a little bridge there.
Okay.
All right.
And
If this were a campaign, I'd run with all of these damn buildings.
sure,
but
sure.
yes.
I have tables to roll on to tell you what's in there if you
I'm
want.
sure.
Let's see. Okay. As you approach the river, a fallen tree bridges the river ahead. Its trunk is wider than a man and stretches more than 100 feet. On both banks lie ruined buildings. And you see... okay, yeah, so... and that's all you see at the moment.
Okay. Oh, well.
Is this the way across or around this water,
Said,
Imbok?
well, you can go that way, but I know that there's Tubax hunters that sometimes are around here.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I like to go through the flooded areas, but you guys don't look like maybe you swim so good.
I believe
The water
druid
deep?
here has a problem with flooded areas.
Yeah.
Is the water deep?
It's relatively fast moving at this point, and it does definitely, Azaka looks at it and kind of says, I would not want to risk crossing here. It's probably slower moving further up.
And if I recall, your judgment is usually correct.
I just prefer to be extra cautious when getting swept downstream would lead to falling over a waterfall into lava.
It's probably worth walking over here anyway. I mean, literally walking on the water again. Fun as that was.
You walked on water?
Yes, but I don't have that memorized today because, well, we're not on the ocean anymore.
We were rather much in the depth, I suppose. Well then, I guess we go around.
Alright. So
You're
you're
on in box?
continuing to, are you trying to sort of hug the side of the flooded area, or are you going to stay in where it's more dry?
More dry?
Alright.
I think
More dry.
probably better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
As they go,
Mhm.
sorry, I was going to say, as they go, Ashen Dawn starts humming this little song, and you could hear her singing about traits of mushrooms, and it's all because of those mushroom people.
Let me see, how does that go? Mushroom, 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 mushroom. Snake? It's a snake?
and there's a badger. But this is also my song about how to tell poisonous mushrooms from safe ones.
Oh, I must learn this one.
Yes.
I'm thinking poisonous ones walk around.
Right.
I think those are the ones that stab you.
Exactly.
So you guys make your way kind of up through this area, weaving in between the buildings, following Imbok, and then as you pass this building, right here, cracked monoliths flank the entrance to this ruin. Saw-edged ferns grow in the courtyard between broken flagstones. A pair of stone doors provide entry to a large, flat-roofed ruin. The little walled compound of it looks kind of like that other shrine did.
Is there any animal nearby or any animal carvings?
Not that you can see from the outside.
What's this place? Asking Frogford.
Imbok, what temple is this?
That's Ijin's shrine. The Almirage.
Oh,
Ah, it's the rabbit unicorn.
anybody live there?
I don't think so.
I must come back here at some point. Frantically writing down notes. Ironically, already notes I've written down through this campaign.
You have a strange idea of
First,
fun.
then we'll look around. But
Yes, save the world first and then learn everything else I know.
So he leads you kind of, because you obviously are wanting to stay dry for as long as possible. He's leading you kind of along this way. You're passing through, let's see. You don't seem to encounter anybody else. You're making your way along here. And he takes you up through here and he says, "From here we'll have to wade. It's not so deep though."
Alright.
We do what we must.
As you start passing into the water here, the current is not bad here, but the water is like 2 to 3 feet deep, and it's occasionally a little unsteady because it's kind of murky. It's hard to see through it. So sometimes you might step on a loose rock or something. It's a little bit uncomfortable.
Can somebody carry Al?
Please.
And maybe, I don't know if the panther can swim?
Should be able to. It's a panther.
You have a couple of
That's pretty dexterous.
What was that, Al?
Yeah, don't we have a couple other short people?
Yes, well, time and tide. We used to have a kobold. He's somewhere on the wastes, having defended us.
Well, and the other guys in the backpack. Yeah, somebody carry me, please.
Yeah, Wardra is still hanging out. When you check on him, he's actually asleep with his head over Azaka's shoulder.
He was riding Azaka's backpack. He's fine.
Yeah.
So, I'm not very graceful or anything, but if nobody else is offering,
Come here, my little friend.
oh, there you go.
Cool. Thank you.
As he
Oh, you piggybacked him.
as you're heading through this way, Imbach points to the north, kind of in this direction, and says, "Careful, if you go up there, there's crocodiles."
Good to know.
Oh, I can turn into a crocodile.
How far away is that place you said that the obelisk, the strange dark rock with the pointy tip? How far away was that?
Not too far, maybe 1,000 feet.
Just straight north of us here?
It's at the most northern part of the city, just below the cliff.
Excellent.
Narrows it down.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So he's leading you through. He's kind of swimming along, but occasionally kind of doubling back to you guys. And then you bypassed
Brother
the
Tech,
encounters
stop
you
making
might have been good to have. Let's see. I need Oh, okay. Well, that's
Well, the way you mean?
Excuse me. Yeah. So as the random encounter you were about to have is grungs, but as you're approaching the grung shrine, I don't think we need to have a separate encounter for that. But basically, as you are kind of making your way close, at one point you do see a couple more green grung that are kind of sort of standing lookout, and as they see you, Inbox, waves to them, swims over to them, swims back to you, and says, "Come on, come on."
Ah, yes, of course.
Okay. Nobody
Happy we made friends.
So he takes you to this building right here.
Oh my.
And let's... so what you see from the outside, monoliths adorned with prancing frog-like figures rise from the swamp. Beyond, a ruined edifice shaped like an arrowhead squats in the muddy water. Bushes and trees grow from its roof. At the pointed front of the building, steps ascend to a stone door caked in slime. And I actually have a new map that I hope will come up. There it is. Okay. So, this is the map for, let me, yeah.
Ah, that's better.
Yes. So, as you guys are, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so as you guys approach, there's a lot more grung in there. You see 7 total green-skinned grungs hanging about, sitting all on the rooftop of this building. So right now this is showing the interior, but they're sitting on the roof outside. 4 orange-skinned grung warriors are kind of hanging out in this courtyard here. One of them has a Hadrosaurus with a harness on it. There's a
God would
red.
love that.
There's one red-skinned grung, and the sitting in the threshold up by that door, using that sort of doorway almost like it's a throne, is a gold-skinned grung with an elaborate headdress that I'm going to show you a picture of here.
Oh, that's
Wow.
All right. Yeah.
Whoa.
So Chief Yorb is this guy's name.
I'm assuming this is Daddy.
Yes, that's my father. He's the chief.
He's cool. I like his headdress.
So, a lot of the, as they see you approach, a lot of these other grungs go on kind of high alert, but they do see that you're with Imbach. And he just leads you in. Come on, come on.
Of course. This way, friends.
And, so, Chief Yorb kind of looks up, looking down at you, kind of like, what's your deal, sort of thing, as you walk up. And Imbach just goes, Father, these strange people, they saved me from the veggie pygmies. And the chief goes, I didn't even know you were missing.
Aha!
Bow my head. It's nice to meet you.
You speak wrong?
I have a facility with languages. My friends here, unfortunately, are less equipped, but I can speak with them and with you. And actually, every one of you hears me in your natural language, but he hears me in Grime.
Okay. Very nice.
He is kind of sitting in the doorway, and he's just looking at you and says, he turns to Imbach again and says, and the veggie pygmies try to throw you in the lava again. Yes, Papa.
Kind of relate some of that back. Apparently this has happened before.
Yorb looks at the rest of you and says, thank you for rescuing my brave and handsome son.
It is the mission of each of us to try to do good where we can in this world. It brings us to this area in general, actually.
So, thank you. I appreciate you returning my son to me.
Your son mentioned a reward of gold. Now, we are not greedy, and gold would be useful on our quests, but information would be far more useful.
He turns to Imbach and just says, you told them what?
I think it was showered in gold was the right word.
And
Chosen my words carefully.
Imbach just kind of hangs his head, looks a little sheepish. I wanted them to bring me back home.
Imbach was frightened, and we were new. I understood what he did. The gold is not necessary. Again, information would be far more valuable here.
Wow.
Wait a minute. He said no gold? What is the... Hold on.
Easy now, easy. We don't want to bother our
It's
friends.
complicated. There's gold in the temple, but it's not what you think. There's magic.
Somebody fell over.
And he
Oh, here
gestures.
you
He
go,
gestures
okay.
into the temple, and if you kind of look in through the doorway here into this initial chamber, torches shed light over rooms filled of treasure. Filled of, that's what it says, but fine. Filled with treasure. Chests heaped with coins, polished amphora, strings of pearls, and ornate pieces of armor. Set into the floor in front of another double door is a mosaic depicting a frog-like humanoid beating a leopard that has snakes emerging from its shoulders. cuneiform inscriptions are woven above and below the combatants. And tongues would probably let you read any language, right?
I think so. Let me just double check. Understand any spoken language? No.
Okay.
The other one did.
So you're not able to read it then, but it's got descriptions in there, and so the Grung says, "I would reward you, but my treasure must stay in the shrine. We guard it here so we can have it. You can own some of it, but you won't be able to take it with you."
Is it trapped or something? You
can try if you want.
What will happen?
He goes inside and he picks up, like a handful of gold coins from the pile, and then he walks out onto the steps with them. And as he passes the threshold, they become just little discs of tin with no minting on them at all. He says, "See, they're more valuable inside." And he holds them back in, and they turn back to gold coins.
Impressive.
Spirit gold.
If you want some treasure, I will give it to you, but you have to keep it in the shrine or else it loses its value.
Well, that's a very interesting system.
That's why we keep it inside.
I noticed the statue inside. That is Nung Nung fighting Shigambi, is it not?
Yes, that's right. You know the legend of the trickster gods.
I've become acquainted with it. Is that statue part of the original room?
Yes, the Omuans, when they lived here, built all these shrines. But that was before the trickster gods were killed.
You know what happened?
Oh, we didn't come in until after all the Omuans were gone and the spirits were already dead.
But you were fortunate to have this temple of your own people.
Yes, Nang Nang was a spirit worshipped by Grung long before the humans knew her.
Oh, that's fortunate. Yeah, but as I said, while gold could aid us in the things that we need to do, information, I think, is more valuable.
Yanti?
We hear. Pardon?
Ask about the Yanti?
Yes, I'm getting to it. There are a number of things we want to see here. One, an obelisk, a large black stone with a pointy top. Little Imbak already told us that it lies somewhere to the north of the city, the northernmost point.
Yes. That's
Is
where
there-
it is.
Are there things that guard it? Is it a dangerous place to go?
Not specifically, but there are dangers here in the city. There is, of course, the Uhanti that patrol. I have also seen red wizards in the city recently. Other creatures, of course, too. And, well, we cannot forget the King of Feathers.
The King of Feathers.
King
Can
of
you-
Feathers.
Describe the King of Feathers.
Is an enormous dinosaur, sharp teeth, bright colored feathers, and a horn.
Well, that's very descriptive. Thank you.
Stay away from the King of Feathers if you want value your lives.
Does it have a particular place it stays?
Oh, it patrols all throughout the city when it hunts, but it sleeps in the amphitheater.
Ah,
Is that a big round space?
It is in the north of the city, west of the obelisk you mentioned.
well, maybe we should best approach by night. You say the Yuan-Ti are here in number and other red wizards?
They make
No.
their homes, the Yuan-Ti live in a temple they carved beneath the old palace. And he gestures just to the south. This big sort of circular wall area is where the palace was. And he says, yes, they have a temple underneath.
Do they patrol as well?
Yes. In fact, I would be surprised if they don't already know you're here.
see. We are stealthy people. Maybe they were safe.
Most of us are.
Does anyone have any other questions while we have the good king's attention? They might know other
red
things.
wizard.
Raznasi.
I think that's the name of the leader of the Yuan-Ti.
And here, we've seen him here, or know that he's here.
I've heard the name.
The Yuan-Ti are staying under the palace. The Red Wizards are staying where?
Oh, well, they had a base camp in part of the city, but I believe that they were overrun by something. There may be a few of them hiding out somewhere still.
Are they not working with the Yuan-Ti?
No,
Oh.
they're newcomers to this place like you.
Did they come about 2 months ago?
That sounds right. There were some and then more.
Did they perhaps spend any time around the obelisk?
Yes. But then they started exploring elsewhere in the city. I don't know what they wanted, but they were looking at some of the shrines.
That's the messages.
I bet that they were responsible for the death curse.
Perhaps.
Possibly. Maybe accidentally. Now then. Any other questions?
Any other dangers we should watch out for? Traps in the city?
Oh, there are lots of traps in the shrines. Be very careful.
Do you know anything about puzzle cubes?
Puzzle cubes? I think some of the shrines have cube treasures, but we stay away from them because it's dangerous to get to them.
What was the riddle? The riddle on the wall, Yoris?
Which riddle?
Brave, wise, question mark.
Yes, that one.
That one, I think I know what that means, but each of the trickster gods represented some virtue. It was a stew of virtues that was being created to try to bring Utao back. Clearly someone associates Kubazan with bravery, Shigambi with wisdom. Didn't have any idea what
Yes, it's like this, and he points to the inscriptions in this one, and he says, "That reads, Nang Nang teaches us to serve only ourselves."
Oh,
That's good.
you can read all those inscriptions.
Yes,
Oh,
they are
well,
in Old O1.
Perhaps
What else
yours.
did they say?
Yeah, what else do they say?
Well, this one says, Nang Nang teaches us to serve only ourselves.
Right.
It gives you kind of a meaningful look.
Oh.
Of course.
Head tilted to one side, eyes open.
Oh, all right.
Do you mind if I take a closer look at that door to your treasure? I may know something about it.
Sure.
And I'll walk over and cast Identify.
So what are you casting Identify on?
The door itself.
Okay. The main door the door here was open. That's how you guys were able to look inside. No, this one was open. That was where he reached in and got the handful of gold coins.
Okay.
You didn't go any further than here.
Right.
You did
That's the
see.
structural.
So when you looked in there, let's see. So yeah, what you saw in this area, torches shed out light over rooms filled with treasure, chests heaped with coins, polished, ornate pieces of armor, etc. Set into the floor in front of another door. That's the one you meant? Is a mosaic depicting a frog-like humanoid beating a leopard That's the door you meant?
The one where
That's
the
this door
threshold
here.
changed the gold to tin. Are we looking at the right map? Your
Okay.
picture's off the screen.
Okay, I don't know if you are. I'm okay. You okay?
18.
I had my cursor over the whole thing. Yes, we're right here. So this is
Okay.
the outside door. It's open. That's the one with the threshold where it turns the gold to tin. And so
Okay.
as you
Okay.
enter, and this is the room that has the treasure in it, and there describes this door, which is closed.
I will do it on the front door, the one where
Okay.
the threshold changed from gold to tin.
What are you casting?
Identify.
Identify.
Yep.
There are stone doors.
There's no magic to it at all.
Not in those doors. No.
All right. Interesting.
By the way, you're probably getting close to the end of your hour for tongues.
We may have to move on.
What?
All right. The curiosity later.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Yorb, for your time. We may stop in again if we have other questions or other things we can help with.
You know, if you are willing to try to find out what's on the other side of the inner doors, more of this treasure could be yours.
Can't remove.
I can't walk away from a puzzle. Just maybe a quick identify on that
A
door.
little look,
Okay.
sure. Why
You
not?
cast Identify on that one too.
Yes.
You know that it does have an aura of divination magic around it, and what it's looking for is for someone to bring it a specific treasure.
Is there a gap missing in the wall's relief at all? Does it look like something would fit into it?
You know what? I take it back. It is just looking for just a treasure.
Just any treasure.
Okay. Well. Okay. So hang on. This is a little bit strange. So I'm reading the description here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you get is that it is looking for someone to bring it a treasure. But you get the feeling that anyone who wants to pass through it also needs to have a treasure.
No.
And the Chief Yorb points out that the inscription on that door says, "Whoever among you is the richest, bring me your gifts." But he said, "We have tried bringing it, but it seems to open and close, and we don't understand what's happening."
Is there a coin slot?
A B A B, up down, up down.
This weekend.
So there's various treasures in the room. The inscription says, "Whoever among you is the richest, bring me your gifts." You know that the spell is looking for someone to bring a treasure to it.
I only have a moment, but can I look around the room and just see if I can see something that looks particularly...
Sure. Make
particularly
a
treasure?
perception check.
Oh, 11.
11. You find what looks like it's a shield, but it's inlaid with gold. It looks pretty valuable.
I grunt and groan and try to heave it over towards the door.
All right. It's just a shield. It's not like that heavy. But yeah. Anyway.
I have a strength of 8.
Would I be able to suss out if they're talking about actual physical riches, or if me giving him a hug because I'm rich in spirit would be enough to get through this?
Well, make an intelligence check.
There you go. Oh,
That's a 2. Snuggle up, buddy. Come here.
You have no idea. You go up and you hug him, and nothing happens.
Yeah. I am rich in spirit, and that should open the door for the kids.
That's very nice of you.
So you actually approach with the shield, and you stand in front of it, and the door opens.
Oh, well. It's, you say it's opened before, let's might as well What happens when I
says,
watch?
we
Bruce
tried
at the door.
bringing lots of treasures. Everyone would grab something, and we'd all stand in front, and it would start to open and then close as we tried to go inside.
Try to go inside.
Yes, try it inside then.
All right, so right now we have just Yoris with just the shield going in. Nobody else is doing anything, or what are you doing?
I'm watching him.
They're waiting for me to die.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, buddy.
Okay, so you step through the door. It stays open, and you are in the middle of this dusty room. A stone cube rests on a pedestal, carved and painted to resemble a squat humanoid frog. And it's just like a little stone cube. It's a couple of inches on the side.
Squat, small frog. Resembling a grung.
The pedestal resembles a grung. The cube is, kind of carved with sort of ornate designs. It has, it actually does
Does
have.
it say a puzzle?
That's a cube, maybe?
It is a little cube. It doesn't say puzzle, but
The puzzle cubes on a cube. And nothing else in the room.
there's another pile of more what looks like sort of various treasures.
Are they different from the shield?
Yeah, you notice that out of that pile, there's no two of any one thing. Like there's various treasures, but there's only one of each kind.
Interesting.
Indeed, that bitch.
Let's attempt to place the shield on top of the cube. It's only small. Maybe I can balance it properly.
You place it like over the cube.
Essentially, yes.
You place it gingerly over the top of the cube, and
Okay.
it sits there and nothing happens.
Door hasn't closed.
Nope.
I look through the rest of the treasures that are here. Something might be interesting.
Cube is interesting. It looks like a key. I shout through the door.
The cube, you notice when you look close, it does have a tiny little carving of a grung on it.
I move the shield aside and hold on to it, and try to pick up the cube.
You pick it up. It weighs about what you would expect a stone cube of that size to weigh. It feels old. You do get a bit of a feeling, though, that, like, even though it looks old and kind of worn, like, there's a little bit of a glimmer of magic about it.
I'll cast Identify upon it.
You get the feeling that this is a component in a larger mechanism.
Nothing in the room seems to be missing a cube.
There's illusion magic all over the place here.
Oh, well.
Place
I
is
expect Neil to come back.
Illusion magic, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't been doing my rhymes. I do apologize. All of the thousands of throngs have been paying to listen to my rhymes. Let's try this. I'll try one spontaneously, see how badly this goes.
Yoris,
Yes?
what kind of magic did you say you were picking up?
There's illusion magic continuously on me here.
Perhaps we should leave it alone.
Why?
Well, I imagine this place is much prettier the way it is.
The grung are all watching you very carefully.
Yes, I suppose. But
And if we make it less pretty, they might get a little annoyed with us.
or it might solve their problem of not being able to take the treasure where they wish.
But they can't
Yes,
take
not
treasure if it's not actually treasure.
Interesting.
Because it's probably all actually tin, not gold.
What happens when I leave the room with this cube?
You carry it out with you. The door closes behind you. You're now back out. You're now back out in here, holding the cube.
It doesn't change?
Nope.
And the shield is still a shield?
You left it in the other room.
Oh, yes, of course. Well,
Prince Justin is excited about rhyme time, by the way, and pledges are up to $790 right now.
Yeah.
oh,
I think that last one was Justin and Trish that
Yay.
brought us to 790.
And
Or unless
rhyme
I'm
time
mistaken, I can double check what our donations are just to make sure I'm not missing anybody to say thank you. But yeah, you have made it back out of the shrine. You're holding this cube, and
this doesn't seem to have changed.
so we had one from Nobilis that was 15. That was part of what I was.
Thanks,
missing.
Nobilis.
Did you want a magic item? You want to find a magic item for that $15?
Can I hold my choice for the time being?
Yeah.
No.
Non-grung area.
Yeah.
How about this? A re-roll at some point if I need it.
Sure.
There you go.
That's a good thing.
Very magic.
Yeah.
Well, he's
helmet.
also a wild magic sorcerer, so weird things happening is not.
That's true. Chief Yorb, this doesn't seem to have changed at all from inside to outside.
He looks at it and he's kind of saying, I don't understand why it worked for you and not for us. We grabbed whole handfuls of gold coins. We grabbed strings of pearls. We stood in front of the door and it would open at first and then close when we tried to go through.
Did you leave anything in its place?
We didn't get inside.
I'm thinking you were all equally rich at that point.
And he kind of narrows his eyes like, I don't
On
get
the
it.
outside of the cube it's the image of it's just a frog, right?
Yeah, well, it's a grung.
It's a grung.
Yeah, which is a humanoid frog,
If you don't mind, I'll take this small stone. If I find something valuable, I'll return.
How about this? How about this? You can have the cube in exchange for the return of the treasure I promise you for rescuing my son.
Sure.
All right.
Sounds fair.
That treasure is yours.
That's, did you, perhaps one of you could try, only one of you should try approaching the door with treasure in your hand. And maybe just one item.
After he leaves.
I don't understand your friend.
It's difficult to translate. I apologize. The spell is wearing a little thin. Perhaps we should, unfortunately, move on, unless we wish to pursue this further.
Let's please.
Yeah. All right. So he comes down and he sort of takes his little staff, and all the others, croak in response.
I give my best. I use prestidigitation to make the sound appear coming from my mouth.
Yeah. Well, all right. they croak again in return. All right.
Well met. May we see you in the future.
All right.
The Loquacia will bow and encourage us to get the hell out of here.
She really looks like a plushie of these little ground guys are so cute.
All right, so if you're leaving that shrine, you guys are about right here. But give me just a moment. I'm going to make another quick little pee break here, and we'll be right back.
So now we get to entertain. And if you're still watching and you haven't donated to Extra Life, please do. It goes to the children, and we don't want them to get thrown into lava. So please donate.
Operator standing by.
If anybody hasn't picked what magic item that they would like for their charity donations, I recommend the Vorpal helmet. Always a strong choice for the adventurer on the go.
Remember, donations can also make us fight monsters. One last epic battle, maybe?
I would recommend the Wop of Wonder, but it's one of my favorites.
I do. I wonder what it is.
There's a little card deck I wouldn't mind picking up. There's a little card deck I wouldn't mind picking up.
And remember, if you donate a certain amount, you can have an NPC named after you.
It is true. I'm still waiting for Laura Nicole to show up, but I'm sure it will.
Did we kill a Laura Nicole?
Oh yes. Did you kill me at all?
Well, in frog language, Laura Nicole comes out as grung, or
There was
Yeah.
a really great comment, by the way, earlier that Mother Dragon said, which is our friend Paulette, when Mark was getting tongues going, and it was, where was it? Let me sing you the song of my people. Yes. And the cute it burns.
It burns.
And I apologize for not having my poems ready. The identifiers.
Well, work on it now.
Yes.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, I have some backlog, but I was thinking of the fight, and the fight never got to me. So
We demand poetry.
In the home stretch.
All right, home stretch.
All
All right, people. Do we want to go for the palace or the obelisk first?
Obelisk.
Vote obelisk.
Or the rest of the cubes.
I feel
what-
the obelisk is more pressing.
Obelisk.
If we need the puzzle cube to get into the obelisk,
Maybe we won't know until we get to the obelisk.
I guess so.
What's closest? I think the obelisk, because it's only like due north.
It's 1,000 feet from us.
Yeah.
Okay. More or less.
So you guys vaguely remember the layout of this place from when you were viewing it from the cliff, and so I'll just go ahead and kind of let you know that the direction that they were indicating is about right there,
Excellent.
and you
That's
guys are
far
currently
from
down right here.
I
the Colosseum.
think I could maybe use locate object.
It might be close enough.
For
Look it up.
no, but what object?
The obelisk.
Don't
think
you
I
have?
can-
I think aren't you supposed to be like familiar with it? Or I suppose I guess this is specific enough, and you've heard description.
Yeah.
All right.
It seemed to be like if you were trying to locate a specific piece of jewelry, you need to be familiar with it. But if you're looking for a piece of jewelry, that you don't have to be familiar with. So in this case, if I'm looking for a tall black obelisk,
But I feel like we know where that is. Perhaps that might be better for I don't know, puzzle cubes.
okay, that seems fair.
I suspect we will find puzzle cubes by most of the temples.
Yes, agreed.
Wait. The
Full of Rubik's.
the frieze on the wall. Nang teaches us to serve only ourselves.
Yes. Selfish.
Maybe
Frieze.
that might have been the virtue they were after, or some variation. It might mean that finding these puzzle cubes is being tied to each of the virtues that these spirits have been. Might serve us in the future.
9.
do we have other cubes in our possession?
No, this is the first time to the city, after all.
Well, why don't we go up to the obelisk and see if it's related?
All right. Which way are
Yes.
you going as you leave the Nang Nang Shrine right here?
They said north, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Northernmost
I would presume that we would go back the way that we came.
All right. Just kind of along this way.
Yep.
Back to dry land.
You know, so that anyone that sees us had already seen us with and back.
Keeping our eye out for any other red wizards, and of course the King of Feathers. I should think the King of Feathers would be easier to see.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna recast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
Yeah. What the king was mentioning before, I'm assuming that giant half moon shape in the northwest
Yeah,
would be the amphitheater he was talking about.
that's
I
what he's
think
thinking.
Yeah. You recall noticing that when you saw above the cliff face, and since you had map making tools, we'll say that you guys actually sketched kind of a quick layout of like the distinctive shaped buildings.
What you see before me is my quick sketch. I'm sorry I didn't have time to label it.
Yeah, but you know, you drew a little feather here and a wizard hat there. I get the gist of it.
Quoting Doc Brown.
As you guys are making your way through here, because you're moving so stealthily, you are able to duck out of the way just in time. You see that in this area right here, there's a trio of ghouls that have the blue triangle in their forehead, and they appear to be searching the flooded area around here. So you guys were just coming through here and ducked around this corner.
Are they all human?
They're well, they're now undead. They're ghouls.
Yes.
They look humanoid. It's sometimes hard to tell with a ghoul.
Just like the undead T-Rex's pet. Stomach, whatever it was.
You also saw those tribal warriors that were apparently butchering an undead. You also had that tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if you eat undead flesh, if it's catching.
Well, let's not do it.
Yes.
That does not sound appetizing.
I would agree. Let us not eat undead flesh.
All right. So are you going to try to avoid the that area? That's where they were.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So
I can
are
get
you
within
going
30
up?
feet of them. I can destroy them.
We don't want to attract too much attention.
Also, save it for when we get to the obelisk. We might need it.
There could be hundreds there. You'll be able to destroy many.
Yay!
So up to you guys.
Does that mean you'll hug them all?
Will not hug the
void.
All right, so I'm assuming you guys are avoiding the ghouls. You're going up around this way instead. As you kind of pass by this building up here.
Keep an eye out for crocodiles, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you're watching carefully, having been warned, and you do see as you look in through this little bit of a walled area here. There used to be a wall, and it's broken in many places. Through it, you can see crocodiles wallow in this muddy lake bed, from which rises a walled ruin. 2 columns flank the entrance, carved with images of a long-legged bird with a needle-like beak. At the building's front, slimy steps ascend to an entry arch. But you guys, if you hug the walls here, you can stay far enough away that crocodiles don't bother you.
So we could duck in there without them seeing us?
No, if you wanted to go into the building, you would be going right through them. But if you are staying away, you can stay far enough away.
Probably the Temple of Papazodal,
Yes.
he says idly.
We'll just mark it on the map.
Later.
Come back.
All right.
We'll have lots of time later.
So as you make your way this way, and you pass by this building right here, that one, you see a derelict market hall stands on the street corner ahead. Frayed cloth awnings hang in tatters above a broad alley lined with stalls.
Probably not open for business.
Yeah. So, assuming you don't explore further, you pass by. You're heading to sort of this main strip. All right.
Yes.
And looking ahead to your north, you see the obelisk, which give me a moment because that's actually a different chapter. I have to go to that part, which I can do in just a second. Give me. Yeah. Okay.
So this is the place my nightmares are made of.
Yes, what is with you in the nightmares? Do you know?
All right. So, while our GM is doing a thing that we don't know about because this is a real world, so ever since when we met and we met with our dear patroness, Sindra, she said 20 days. That is the exact time that my nightmares began. A darkness spreading throughout the world and consuming everything. When I went to the Temple of Cerberus, I asked for an interpretation of this dream. And in speaking to Cerberus, the grandfather said that I should be looking for an obelisk surrounded by vines. That was the heart of this evil. And so that has been, this has haunted my dreams ever since that clarification came to me, and I have to stop it.
Your dreams are more specific than mine are. I just started getting dreams of someplace dark and green, and Tote certainly fulfills that, but It wasn't very specific with buildings or anything.
Well, when you ask for clarification, sometimes you are blessed with clarification or cursed with clarification. And it's very, very distracting.
Clericification?
Yeah. So,
Well, I'm a druid, so that doesn't work.
so as you guys approach this thing, I have a metagame question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because we are now in the home stretch, I'm going to give you the option of continuing as we normally would, running a campaign where, you know, there's puzzle cubes and other mysteries and so on to solve. But I'll tell you, in a metagame sense, you are now at the entrance to the Tomb of Annihilation. And if you want, we can say that Asarak has been watching you and has decided to open the tomb for you.
Okay.
I love that.
I say open up.
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right.
Boss music time.
Yes. So.
I'm
Then,
emboldened by the cuteness of the baby.
Thank you.
all right. So then, as you approach, near the base of the cliffs, a 15-foot obelisk of cracked stone is draped with vines and black moss. Behind it, you see a dark passageway obscured by withered creepers. A second, smaller tunnel burrows into the base of a cliff to the east. And you know, technically speaking, you do see that there's a lot of shrubbery over here, but I'll tell you that right now it is obscuring this opening from where you are. But as you approach this obelisk, 3 stone gargoyles watch you from narrow ledges carved into the cliffside. Each has the face of a bearded devil, its mouth agape in a silent scream. The obelisk itself is powerfully magic. It is definitely what you saw in your vision. And it says on it a message. It says, "Fear the night, when the Forsaken One seizes death's mantle and the seas dry up and the dead rise, and I, Asarak the Eternal, reap the world of the living. Those who dare enter, take heed. The enemies oppose. One stands between them. In darkness it hides. Don the mask or be seen." You know what? Hang on. Because of what I mentioned, you see that actually those letters start to fade out as you read them, and then they are replaced magically with new words that say,
Quit scroll next. I wasn't finished.
Yeah. "I've been watching you, and I have decided to allow you entry, for I believe it will be entertaining." That message was all about what you do with the puzzle cubes. So, and as you guys stand there and read that message, all of a sudden plants start to die under your feet, and a path of dead grass proceeds from this obelisk all the way around here. Every plant in its path wilting until it goes around this direction and goes into there.
You know when like a chill goes up your spine and it sends your entire body, like full body spasm of, oh god, what was that? That is what Loquacia does right then.
Ash and Dawn is horrified.
Yep.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
This is what we've come for.
We've been good to the world.
This is how we redeem ourselves.
This
And I
is
can
how
also
we
study
find
everything else.
glory.
Well, we've come this far.
Give me a moment. And Loquacia is going to kneel where she stands with her hands clasped around her holy symbol.
Okay.
In prayer to her god. And let's see, have I cast anything from this yet? I don't think I have. So in that case, I am going to go ahead and cast Aid.
Okay.
I cast Aid on, let's see, I can only do 3 people. Right?
What's the duration on that? I didn't think it was very long.
I thought it was an hour. Let me see. I think
That's
less
like 8
is
hours.
short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Eight is a longer period of time.
the magic.
It used to be less. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to go ahead and cast it at, let's say, 3rd level. And I'm going to do it twice. So, let's see, how many people have we got here?
A lot.
8, 9,
Yeah.
10,
First
11,
platoon
12.
of adventurers.
And
step
you
forward
have
for your spells.
Azaka, and I'm gonna go ahead and count Wardred like he is bound to her fate at this point. So we'll treat them like one. Artis and Dragonbait are the 3 NPCs with you.
Right. But they seem kind of stronger than us, so I'm not going to worry about them too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us adventurers who are not NPCs. So I can get.
And count yourself.
Okay. I'm leaving myself out, and I'm leaving out. Oh goodness. All right. I'm gonna get my originals first. So Agnolo and Ashen Dawn and Yoris. And then I'm gonna get I guess our. Actually, I'm going to protect our clerics next because they need to stay alive to heal people.
Yay.
So I will do myself, and I will do Brother Tech, and I will do N. Shoot, I've lost your name. Sorry.
Nuker. It's okay. Just say Nutty. It's all good.
Nuker. All right. So I'll do the 3 of us. Okay. And each of us gets an additional 10 hit points for the next 8 hours.
Excellent.
Oh, you were casting at 3rd level or 2nd level?
3rd level.
Then it's 15 points.
Oh, it's 15 points. Okay, excellent.
Okay, so let me add that in.
Not sure how you do temporary max, but
Just click on your hit points, and it'll open it up, and you can add them in there.
You can't do
Gather
max,
around,
though.
everyone. I have a rousing speech to give, so I can inspire you all with hope, because we will win this day, because we have been journeying to win this day. I'm casting Beacon of Hope, by the way.
All right.
Oh, Beacon of Hope?
Yeah. This spell bestows hope and vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range. For the duration, each target has an it only lasts 1 minute. Never mind.
Yeah, that's not the one.
Dang it.
No.
Never mind.
And the one that Aid does, it actually increases your max. It's not creating temporary hit points.
Oh, okay.
Right, but if we're at max, it does allow us to. It does up our full hit points, right?
Right.
But some
I'm
of us
sorry.
have things like the heroism thing, which actually give you 10 hit points on top of that.
You guys
Yeah.
hear a crackly, dry voice in your head saying, "Don't make me regret opening the door for you."
I'm sorry. My audio glitched out. Did you say Agnolo was on that or not?
Yes, Agnolo is.
Okay.
Let's do this then.
Okay.
All right.
All my things are short.
So
Let's go.
you pass through and you see this door right here already lies open. You see that to one side there's a little inset thing where 9 puzzle cubes like the one you found are arranged in a pattern. But the door already lies open, and in it there's a 20-foot hallway. 20-foot long, 10-foot wide hallway leading into this area here, and it's dark, and that there's another slab blocks the hallway 20 feet beyond the first door. An iron lever is set into the door's surface with a graven stone skull leering down from above.
I will use my potion of heroism, or my charm of heroism as well.
Loquacia makes as we approach. Loquacia hands out berry packets. Everyone eat these berries.
All right.
Okay.
What was it?
get advantage on saving throws against disease and poison.
Oh, you mean the berries that I
Some of the
had?
berries?
You had some berries. I also brought some berries with us.
Great.
We found some too.
Great.
Yeah. All right. Are
I
you
still have
all
those roots
entering
and those,
this corridor?
Sure.
Are you all staying in a tight little bunch, or are you spreading out? What's the idea there?
I think we should spread out.
Has the rogue checked for traps yet?
Yes, I was going to say.
Send the rogue ahead.
No, because no one did anything. I've been waiting.
All right. Are you sending the rogue ahead by himself?
No, I will go with him.
Okay.
Okay.
The rest of you are the rest of you staying out?
We're hanging back, but not too far. Like we want to stay within 20 feet of him, I think.
Okay.
I'm sending Quilda along with the.
Okay. So, as two of you, as those of you who are entering, remind me, it is Al and Quilda and who was the
Ash and Dawn.
Ash and Dawn. As you make your way through, the rest of you are staying 20 feet behind, which means that not until the first, everyone will still be outside, even if they get all the way to the end. Are you making a checks for traps as you go?
Tell me about that lever again.
It's on the far side by the door here. It's like on the door. It is an iron lever set into the door surface with a graven stone skull leering down from above.
Wait, it's on the open door or the closed door?
It's on the closed door, on the far side of this hallway.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely checking.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Only a 9.
I'll cast guidance on that. So
Well,
I give
nope,
you
too late.
power-
You rolled it. It's done.
Too late.
You don't see any traps.
All right. Checking for traps with regards to the lever then.
Okay, so you were looking as you entered. As you get 10 feet in, because you can't really see the lever enough to do a check from outside,
Okay.
as you make your way 10 feet in, all of a sudden the skull's jaws creak open and a skeletal hand holding a crystal hourglass-style timer emerges from within. And with a click, the timer rotates and sand starts to trickle into its lower globe. I'm going to count down from 10. You need to tell me what you're doing. 10.
Okay. Rush to the door,
8.
pull down the lever.
Okay. As soon as you pull down the lever, the floor opens along a central seam. It is a pit trap. You can make a dexterity saving throw because you're holding onto the lever. So try to make a dexterity saving throw. Al?
Oh, 5.
5. Okay. Only
Can
the one...
I
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask if I could cast Gust to kind of push us away from the pit trap.
Not fast enough.
Okay.
So yes, so all three of you, Quilda, Al, and Ash and Dawn, fall 20 feet into a pit lined with poison spikes.
Oh.
Ouch!
I have
Yeah.
Featherfall.
So had you activated the charm? We'll say no, you don't have to do an action, but you can sort of use it in the moment there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are going to be immune from the falling damage, but you're still kind of descending onto spikes.
Well, I'm hoping I can kind of twist my body in the air to hopefully miss something.
You're falling fast enough that I think you're. So when I'm going to immune you're not going to take the bludgeoning damage, but you've got sharp spikes on the bottom. So so those of you who are falling normally are going to take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And all of you are impaled on. Let's see. Al, you are impaled on. Ooh, bad. 4 spikes.
Ew.
And I'm going to tell just a second. So Quilda is impaled on only 1 spike. Ash and Dawn, only one spike. So that's just bad for you, Al. So each of those spikes. So first, Ashen, the spike that you take deals you 6 piercing damage and 9 poison damage. But I don't think the berries give you resistance to. Let me.
No, it's a plus to saving.
Right. So you are going to. So you are not going to be poisoned still, but you do take the damage.
Okay.
You take the 9 poison damage, but you are not still poisoned.
Okay.
Those of you who ate the berries. Quilda takes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Quilda, did I roll the bludgeoning damage for you yet? I don't think I did, or did I?
Not that I know. You've been cutting in and out.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think you rolled bludgeoning damage for anybody.
Okay.
Nope.
Right. So Al didn't take it because of his feather fall. So Ash and Dawn, in addition to the spike damage that I just described, you also take.
You gave me my bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
already.
Okay. So if I did, then I did. Okay. For Quilda, if you didn't take the bludgeoning damage yet, you take 15 bludgeoning damage for Quilda. And then 1 spike, so that's 6 piercing damage and 4 poison damage.
And she's dead.
Alas.
Is she dead or unconscious?
Oh no, she's dead. She's past her.
Yeah. Usually the companions don't necessarily get death saving throws. I mean, I think if we weren't playing Tomb of Annihilation in the last stretch of a 24-hour game, yeah. Unfortunately, Quilda impaled on the spike is done for.
Oh
no. Al, you are able to avoid the bludgeoning damage, but you're descending slightly more slowly onto these spikes. I'm gonna half the spike piercing damage because you're falling slowly. So, from each spike though, it would have been 15 piercing damage. So I'll say you take 7 piercing damage because you're falling more slowly. But it is 24 poison damage from all 4 spikes.
Yikes.
Ow!
Yeah.
All right.
Because you took the berries, though, you did, right? Did everyone have the berries? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you are not poisoned, but you are at the bottom of a 20-foot pit, impaled on some spikes.
Okay. So I want to, because I've got cure wounds, so, can I get myself off of my spike?
Yeah, so you're still on the bottom of the pit, but you can sort of ease yourself off of the spikes.
That's okay, because I've got spider climb, so I can do a couple of things. So I want to get myself off of the spike and cast cure wounds on myself. Which is 1d8. There it is. So 1d8 plus 3, so that's 7 points back to me. And then my friend, can you get up?
No.
Are you dead?
No. Well, I don't. Well, with 4 spikes in me, I doubt I can get up on myself.
I will. I mean, if you're not unconscious, then you can lift yourself off. You're probably hurt, I would imagine.
That's gonna tickle.
Not feeling good.
Oh, I thought these things were like 2-foot spikes, and I was impaled.
Well, but I'm saying if you did not take enough damage to make you unconscious, then you can still move and take actions. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Heroes are used to coming off spikes.
We have rope.
Okay.
We can throw it down if they
Well-
can come out.
I can climb out.
Yeah, let's
I've
pay,
got-
let's pay some ropes down for the people that can't climb out. Let's pull them out, and then
Alright.
we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you will bring a rope, and I'll
I
tie it. Come over here with the rope. We'll tie it on dude. I will make sure that he's supported, and then I can climb out.
No, come down, walk across. The point is to go further in, not backtrack, right?
Right, but well, okay.
Does down at the bottom, does it look like there is if we lowered ourselves into the pit that we could walk around the spikes without becoming hurt?
If you were able
I
to
don't
lower
know.
yourself, super slowly, you could probably avoid them, but it's difficult to walk down there. There's kind of a lot of spikes. Also,
that's
you don't see anything down there except spikes.
Is there a path around the trapdoor, or does it take up the entire corridor?
It takes up the entire corridor. You can see on the far side the door is still closed, the lever is in the down position the way it was when the pit opened.
Each of these squares, are they 5 or 10 feet?
5.
I'm looking at shape earth, which is that one of my spells that I have prepared? No, it's not. Damn it.
Yeah, I have mold earth, but that's earth, not stone.
Yeah. But we have rope.
Just so we make sure everyone's expectation is the same, this tomb is going to kill you guys, right?
And we have archers.
We were hoping to get through the front door, but
Well, roll better. Figure it out. Solve the puzzles.
Yeah, I say we find another way.
You got an autographed invitation from Master Wreck himself.
I say we find another way, so if we can get Owl back up.
Okay, so you're saying that we should go and take one of the obvious entrances rather than the one that had been concealed until it was just showed to us.
And then killed us, or almost killed Al.
Right.
Don't worry, Al, we're coming.
Are you sure being shown to us was a good thing? I mean, obviously this is pretty
Did you
bad.
guys pull everybody up with the ropes out of the pit? I assumed you were doing
We
that.
haven't decided yet. but-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
that's
I'm
happening.
gonna lay hands on Al.
But we need
pull
to
'em
get him out of the pit first.
Yes,
He's out. They're out. They're out
Okay.
of the pit.
They're out of the
Okay. I now have spider climb, so I can climb on walls.
Okay.
All right.
So everybody
Notice
ready?
that
Tie a rope.
the skull's jaw is on the far side, and the timer, the jaws have closed, and the timer has disappeared again.
All right. So all of us are out of the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I cast Mage Hand,
Uh-huh.
and I send it down the hallway,
Okay.
and I have it move the lever upward.
You make it move the lever upward, and the
Yes.
pit door closes again, making a floor once more.
Good. Goodbye, Hilda. Now, I have it try to move the lever upwards.
Well, you moved it
No.
up, and it made the pit trap close.
Yes.
It doesn't
but-
go up further.
It does not go up further. It has up and down.
Okay. I push it down again just for completion's sake.
The pit trap opens again.
All right. Well, that's confirmed.
Put the candle back.
With the Mage Hand, I'll have it sort of wrap on the far door, looking for hollow spots or anything else it might grab onto.
It would be hard to hear any hollow spots from where you are. You're 20 feet away.
True.
Do we want to try to just let the timer run out?
Has it run out by now?
Well, it retreated into the skull when the pit trap opened.
Well, I
have
mean,
it-
go back in and try.
I'll have it
Okay, go.
walk along the floor.
Before you go
See if it
anywhere,
triggers something.
you gain 18 hit points.
18?
All right.
18, yes.
18. Okay. Thank you.
I'll use the Mage Hand as a white cane to tap on each of the stones to see if I can find the trigger.
Nothing happens.
Probably requires more weight. You with the spider climb. go along the side of the wall, ready to grab onto the wall when the floor drops out, if the floor drops out, and let the timer run out and see what happens.
Very well. It was nice knowing you. And spider
The
climb.
person who has spider climb is the one that does that.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So if you guys, if you're, so you climb, spider climb, and you walk into the hallway, and as you cross the midpoint, once again, the skull's jaws open, the timer comes out, 10, 9.
Can I break the
8.
timer?
You can try.
I smash it.
Your weapon ding, bangs off. It's like no effect. 6.
Grab the wall.
5.
Is
4,
anything going on in the room?
3, 2.
Hugging the wall. Hugging the ceiling.
You're still stuck to the wall. As the timer elapses, the skull's jaws close, and the door on the far side sinks down into the floor, revealing the passage beyond.
Right.
Okay.
Ayola,
The levers go with the door.
I'm alive. So far.
Let us proceed.
Enter
Right.
in.
I'm cautious.
So, I'm not revealing this next bit at first, just because I don't want to. I don't want to completely. There's stuff that's going to show on the image here that you don't see. You guys don't see. So what you see beyond that door, a moss-covered corridor extends beyond the second door. Tree roots hang from the sagging ceiling, and the air reeks of rot and damp. Ahead, is it bas relief, or I always want to say bas relief. A bas relief carving of a bearded devil's face adorns the wall at a T-shaped intersection. The devil's open mouth is a well of utter darkness. So the pathway that I mentioned continues 25 feet before it reaches the T-shaped intersection and that devil face thing. It is still 10 feet wide. Continues in this corridor. So basically, it continues upwards from this part that you see. Another 25 feet before the intersection.
Okay. Well, I guess I will move very carefully and avoid any openings in the wall, including the gaping maw of that devil face.
All right. So the devil face is basically at the intersection. So if you're just staying in with this first part, you're not encountering it directly.
Okay.
So as you move,
Are you sure you want to go first?
I'm the one that can climb on the walls, so yes.
are all the rest of you still standing all the way out here?
I've
Nope.
moved up.
It's time to move up again, but before she goes in, like as Ash and Dawn is moving that way, Loquacia pulls out her chalk and quickly writes on the inside of the wall, "Death curse this way."
Maybe warning pit trap.
Yes, pit trap, spikes. Do not pull lever.
Nice. You are very good to future adventurers who will come to save the curse once you are fallen in this tomb.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna die.
Okay,
It's great.
so as the rest of you do move into this part of the hallway, the floor remains solid. It does not dump you. And so
Good.
we'll assume that everybody has moved into this space, this space here, as Ash and Dawn is walking on the walls in the other part. So
Actually, I'm going to move past the pit to the ledges on the far side.
okay.
To where the doorway is. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no ledge. You can move through the doorway.
No, yeah, move through the doorway to the far side. That hopefully is
Okay.
more
Are you
solid.
staying just inside the doorway or moving further in?
Just inside the doorway for now.
Okay. So the walls that you're walking along, Ash and Dawn, if not for magic, it would be difficult because it's very mossy, moss-covered walls.
Right.
And you make your way to north through this hallway, And like, what are you doing exactly? So you can walk all the way to this 25 feet along the wall. Nothing happens. You can kind of look both ways, and without kind of going further, it's hard to see.
Yeah, I want to just keep an eye out for traps.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 15 plus. Where's perception? There it is. Oh, that's a 21.
All right. You realize as you're keeping an eye out that hidden in the moss on the walls that you're walking along and on the one that's across the hallway, there are tiny holes in the walls, just about the right size for a dart.
Okay. So I will say, there are darts in this hallway. Watch where you step. I don't want to get darts in me.
You can make another check to look at the floor if you want.
Okay. And that is a 14.
Excellent! You see that there are certain panels on the floor that have what look like trap triggers on them.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go ahead and show you, because it has little X's on there, and that's why I didn't want to pull it up and reveal that there's probably going to be something there, right?
Yeah.
There are going to be a lot of symbols on this map that are not going to mean anything, so pretend they don't exist.
So, I say send the chalk forward. And with the chalk or something, I outline the tiles not to go on. I don't press on it, I just outline it. Don't step in the squares.
Okay.
All right.
And then I get back on the wall.
Okay. So, are the rest of you moving forward?
Moving forward.
Yes.
Okay.
And look a little right at below one of the stones that got outlined. Do not step.
All right.
Darts.
So, as you look at this intersection, you get closer to this carving of the devil face, which is right here. You clearly, as you get close, and there's various little bits of light. There's cracks in the ceiling and stuff that have there's little bits of light here and there. If you have not already, illuminated your own source of light.
I have dark vision, so I'm not.
So in any
anything.
event, though, what is clear is that there's magical darkness in the mouth of this enormous devil face.
Okay.
The mouth is like a 3-foot wide diameter, and there's clearly magical darkness obscuring what lay the cavity within. The face, sculpted from stone, melds seamlessly with the surrounding wall.
I don't think that we should mess with that.
A bad idea.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Can we look around and see anything else?
Yeah, so there are other things that you see in this area. You look over to, on the left-hand passage, and a rusted iron grate is set into the corridor floor. Through its bars, you see muddy water flowing slowly past. The bars are too small for any of you to fit through. And then on the far end of that hallway, creepers and vines cling to the walls of this corridor, at the end of which is an arched crystal window, 6 feet wide, 10 feet high. Through it, you can see a dark chamber. And those of you with dark vision, I'll tell you a little bit more of what you see.
Dark vision.
This vaulted tomb is overgrown with moss and creepers. A stone sarcophagus rests on a stepped dais in the middle of the floor. On the wall behind the sarcophagus, two large statues of bears grip a 5-foot diameter bronze disc embossed with a dozen glaring eyes. 6 desiccated corpses slump on thrones in niches along the walls. These. Hang on. There we go. These little niches around here. Shoot, I'm just realizing this map shows all sorts of stuff that you guys aren't going to...
We didn't see anything. It's all good.
6 desiccated. Lots of these maps have player versions, which is what I've been showing on the stream, but this one doesn't. The 6 desiccated corpses slump on thrones and niches along the walls. Each corpse wears a black mask made of paper mache and feathers. An arched crystal window to the east offers a view of the tunnel beyond. That's actually what you're looking through right now.
So, Dark Vision people, do you share that information?
Yes.
What room looks like it's full of undead?
Yeah. When you look,
we can take care of that.
Sounds like
look
me.
in the other direction. Of note, that window is not a door. It is just a window. It is crystal, looks thick. There's no opening or handle or any sort of mechanism that you see.
Okay.
When you go the other direction, a grand chamber opens ahead, 50 feet across and plunging into darkness below. A stone balcony winds around the walls to connect 4 archways. Other balcony levels are visible below, with corridors radiating off in all directions. To the north, a stone staircase descends into the lower levels.
We probably want to go down, don't we? That's where things like this sort of live quite frequently.
Well, if we can get that grate off, we can go down.
No.
Oh, no. You are not getting me into a sewer.
I don't think Brother Tech would appreciate that. You should have seen the last sewer we were in. It was not pretty good.
It was a bad experience.
Yes.
There's never a sewer, which is a good idea.
But there's stairs leading down that way. Isn't that what I heard?
Yeah.
I like
So what-
stairs.
Take those. Perhaps I can sort of get an idea of what's down there. Loquacia takes out one of her Woka nuts
Okay.
that is given to her, and she shakes it up, and she throws it out into the middle of the space.
You're full of a toke.
So let's see. It falls. It falls 60 feet, and then thunks along the ground, and you can see it. It's dimly illuminating stone floor 60 feet below.
Okay. Okay. Now we know how far down that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you guys can stand on this around this balcony, there are the stairs going down there. You see that there are 2 passages going north from there, and then something on the far side that you can't quite make out from this distance.
Go all the way down to the bottom and look for exits there, or take. There are. You said they're on this level, or are they on a lower level? Sorry.
What was?
The tunnels, the archways.
I'm talking right now. This map is only showing this level. There's a path up here, path up that way, a path across the hall, or the stairs that go down.
What do you think? Down?
Down. I say down.
Let's go. Descend into darkness.
All right.
Is it dark?
If he wants us to fight us that badly, he could give us a clue.
I'm sure he's dashed many an adventurer across the rocks before actually getting to him.
So as you, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, as you are descending, you descend the staircase. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to make sure I understand where you go. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Okay. This is I have to switch levels of the map if you're going down. So that's fine, but it's gonna take me a second.
In the meantime, you are now up to 800.
Ooh.
Woo!
Had to have a nice round number. That
Nice.
had to happen.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay. All right.
Everybody's so cute.
Okay. So,
Who pumped the computer?
add. There we go. Okay, and then move that down where everyone can still see. Okay, so you have descended down these stairs. You arrive here, and you look. There's a long, dark passageway to the north, and then at the end of it, the walls and floor of this 15-foot square room are cracked and carved with images of terrified humanoids falling. Set into the middle of the floor is a stone bas-relief of a bearded devil face painted green. Forlorn cries echo from the black void of its gaping maw.
Yeah, that's just a trap. Let's
You see the balcony continue around the room, so it could go downstairs some more, but you would have to go all the way around. There's also another passageway here to the east.
Can we take passageway instead?
Keep going down.
Down.
All right.
Okay.
So yet another level of the map that I'm gonna have to get for a second. So and that's fine. It's just
Is there something on the wall there along the way? There's a.
Yes. In fact, there is. So let me read that for you.
If you can read this, you're too close. Boom.
Look up.
Objects in the rear view mirror.
There's a lot of stuff in this tomb, so I've got a lot of stuff that I'm kind of reading through
That's okay.
here.
We'll just keep riffing.
It's okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yes. As you reach that little spot right here, you see a bronze plaque is fixed to the east wall of the balcony on level 2, engraved with language in common. And it reads, "The ring is a path to another tomb. The dead abhor sunlight. Only a jewel can tame the frog. Bow as the dead god intoned. Into darkness descend."
Oh, in the darkness. I have daylight, by the way, so once we move in, we can go.
So one of the trickster gods was a frog, and all the trickster gods are dead. I'm curious if that may be what it's talking about?
We have a frog cube, too.
Kubazan was the frog behemoth.
You check your pockets and the frog cube has disappeared. You remember that you saw 9 of them in the pattern
Yeah.
at the door, and it occurs to you that somehow the one that you had may have disappeared at the time that you know. So
We just had the reel burn, and they missed that reel of us finding all of those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
I didn't catch all of that stuff, so it's
all
probably not
right,
important.
you have descended from level 2 to here, and in this hallway, boy, it's just really, yeah, it makes me do a lot of scrolling around. I can only imagine if this was a book, I'd be flipping pages willy-nilly. So, as you look into this hallway, first of all, let me also just note, oops, that's the wrong level. As you note this purple stuff on the wall, there's some sort of a purple mold. It smells like rotting corpses. And everyone make perception check.
Okay.
4.
18.
11.
Nat 20.
Okay. The nat 20. You spot just out of the corner of your eye. You turn in to look at a patch of this mold, and you see that a little eyeball on a stalk has emerged from it and is watching you. But as you turn to look, it withdraws into the mold.
How lovely. This is a spying tool, I think. Either that or it's sentient.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, how I wish I had speak with plants.
Just peering into this hallway, you spot that in these 2 little alcoves, 2 hulking figures stand in alcoves along this long hall, facing each other. Armor is bolted to their flesh, and they wear bucket helms and spiked gauntlets. Iron collars around their necks are connected by a spiked chain that stretches across the corridor.
Ouch. That looks terrible. It looks really uncomfortable.
That looks dangerous.
Right.
There's another
No,
plaque up
everything
there.
looks dangerous.
Everything in here looks dangerous.
Yeah, so there's another plaque there, which I will read for you in just a second.
I'm picturing, by the way, this purple mold being like the moss in the halls of the labyrinth with the little eyes on it. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh, oishy, oishy.
So that plaque on this screen, right here,
7C, yep.
yeah, has another bronze plaque, and what it reads: "Walk through water with weapon in hand. Slake your shadow at the front. The vulture is the first step. Right the gods, R-I-G-H-T.
Yeah.
The walls of history tell all." And now, if you are
I'm sorry, that was right, the gods?
right the gods, R-I-G-H-T.
Yep. And then the last one?
Okay, hang on.
Sorry.
The walls of history tell all.
Thank you.
That's the only one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Are you continuing down? You would have to go all the way around, all the way around the balcony again. So where there's a pathway to the north. Actually, as you go through that one, let me just what you can see looking into each. As you go past this hallway to the north, a huge carving of a snarling jackal's head protrudes from the wall at the end of this corridor. A chamber is visible through the gaps between its fangs, but you'd have to get closer to see more.
We heard something about watching out for fangs.
Yeah.
Remember something about that. So, down?
As
Wasn't
you
that something about fangs of the feathered king or something like that?
Yeah. That's what it was.
So as you guys pass along, you do pass another hallway to the south, but it just leads to another intersection that you can't see anything more unless you go that way. So if you're going down again, then hang on.
I'm imagining the next adventure party's like, oh, they left so many great notes, and then I don't know where they went.
Yeah.
Took the elevator. It's the quickest way.
All right.
I'm probably leaving like little chalk marks along our path just so that we'll be able to retrace our steps more easily.
Well, you haven't really done a complicated path so far, so it's
No.
like,
Just gone down this big
Yeah.
spiral staircase.
yeah. All right, so
downstairs,
you
still
have
downstairs.
descended these stairs down to this hallway, and you discover that in this area right here, this appears to be the bottom of the staircase. There is one more set of stairs to the north here, but it descends just 10, 15 feet or so to a floor. There is, however, a hole in the center there. Let me read to you some of what other stuff you're seeing here is. If you look into this open area here, at the bottom of the grand staircase, a resonant mechanical rumbling emanates from a dark shaft opening up in the middle of this chamber's floor. 4 cylindrical stone pillars, pedestals surround the shaft, each 10 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and featuring a tiny slot in its side. Squatting atop each pedestal is a large 4-armed gargoyle, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's what
goodness.
that looks
I like how that beefy arm is coming out of the back of his neck there.
Yeah. Well, it's got the wings up there. But anyway, yeah, so those are each on pedestals surrounding this hole. Each gargoyle is contained within a square made of metallic tiles embedded in the top of its pedestal. Starting with the northernmost pedestal and going clockwise, the tiles are copper, silver, gold, platinum. So that's what you see there. Also in this immediate vicinity, you see that one more plaque, which says, "Death to fire, dine or drown, precious air and falling sand. The army sleeps in silence. The mirror holds 12. Find the iron scepter's twin. The maze holds the key. And so in this room, there are the gargoyles on the pedestals surrounding this hole. There's a passageway to the east, to the west, and to the south. The stairs don't go any further down.
Oh,
Take one of the passageways?
yep.
Can we assume that I've been taking notes of each of these plaques that I can't write fast enough for?
Sure.
Well,
I have copper and gold if anybody has silver and platinum. It puts into the pedestals and see what happens.
I'm really reluctant to do that, considering that the lever. It's possible that each of these. There are a lot of puzzles in here, and they're simply designed to do terrible things to travelers.
Yes, Quilda has already lost her life because of a lever.
Zaka says, then again, what are we even doing here?
I just thought perhaps we should press on as far as we can before messing.
Alright, yeah. Pick a direction.
The hallway 46 looks interesting.
All right. So as you start moving in that direction, do you stop and look at this shaft at all?
Glenn.
Basically, you can see it's 10 feet wide. It appears to be 15 feet deep, opening into the ceiling of another room below it. And it would be very smooth walls, difficult to climb without gear. But you can only, from this viewpoint, you only see darkness below. Meaning, if with dark vision, you would see stone floor below.
Okay.
Can
I
you
have
throw
gear,
another
but-
nut in there?
I say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Loquacia, can you throw another nut down there to see?
Light wouldn't make a difference because the viewpoint you have is narrow through the shaft. So there's not anything else in this line of sight.
I could, but it wouldn't help any. There's you have a bad angle here.
So as you look into hallway 46 here, a 6-foot tall green devil face is carved into the far end of this hallway, its mouth agape. Painted murals on the walls show faceless humanoid figures doubled over in pain, clutching at their heads and ears.
Earmuffs?
Can we have a silence spell on that figure
Absolutely.
down there?
Yeah.
Done.
Alright. So you cast silence, and there's a bubble of silence around that that face.
Okay.
And so as you look further in there, at the end of this hallway, there's a passageway to the right that seems to go up some stairs.
I'm gonna go back up the floor.
Is where that place is that a doorway or is that nothing?
Well, you would have to check the hallway for secret
Gotcha.
doors.
I don't want to
No, that's okay. It makes sense
out of
that you
character
guys would be
knowledge.
looking around and
Yeah.
trying to be on the lookout. So I'll let you make a perception check.
Okay.
Whoever's going first gets to make one perception check.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Thank you. What does guidance do again?
+4.
Which adds one
That's a
to
D4.
our roll.
A D4.
You add a D4 to that.
Oh, I added D4.
Do they stack?
No.
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 No. Someone has that.
We're getting good advice from all the clerics.
All the clerics are like, hang on. That's not a 4.
It's the pyramid.
I know. It usually pokes me in the finger every time I go in the dice bag, but of course.
Nobody can hear me.
Okay. Oh, good. A 4. So, and that gives me another 6. So that's 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I'm trying to figure out exactly.
You guys?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. You guys, it's pretty clear to me that there's not enough time for an epic final boss battle, and we're exploring around and being quite tentative, and I'm fading quickly.
Yeah,
So-
that was kind of assuming that, like, when you guys said, hey, I'm going to let you go into the Tomb of Annihilation, we understood this was a crash and burn scenario. You guys were being super careful and not exploring any traps.
Well, we're just trying to find
Which is okay. That's up to you. This is your game. I'm just saying.
No, but I have to quit. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
This has been fun, and I'm glad you guys made lots of money. And
And Yolo runs and jumps into the shaft.
Bye.
Disappears.
Bye.
Bye, dude.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, but 20 minutes left in the stream. You guys need to be less careful, or else nothing's going to happen.
Well, we're trying to get
Did
to
I
the heart of
find
Tootsie Roll.
You found a secret door, and in fact, actually, there was no mechanism there, just sort of seams, and then as you're looking at it, it slides open.
Ooh. I walk in blindly.
Waves of heat blast out of this cramped cell. The walls are scribed with relief carvings showing volcanoes setting cities ablaze. Rows of tiny holes are bored into the floor and the 10-foot-high ceiling. A human skeleton embedded in the opposite wall holds an iron sconce with a burning red candle in it. And as soon as you walk in the room and take a look at the candle, the secret door closes behind you, and molten lava begins pouring in from the tiny holes in the ceiling.
Oh my god.
So make a dexterity saving throw.
No.
Oh boy. Don't tell me now. All right, so that was
Nuker!
13. I have no modifiers. I did eat a berry. I don't know if that helps me at all.
Not for lava.
No, not for lava. I didn't think
The
so.
lava is not poisonous. There's a plus there.
But
Got to buy the lava-proof berries.
that takes me a minute to cast.
Yeah,
Never
so
mind.
dexterity saving throw?
Yeah, it was a 13.
13. You take...
The lava berries would be
You
what?
take-
Just chili peppers?
You take 26 fire damage as lava is pouring down on you, and it is continuing to pour. The only other thing in this room is, as I mentioned, the human skeleton holding an iron sconce with a burning red candle in it.
All right, well, that's gonna. I can't get out, so
The
grab
door
that.
You just grab it?
Yep.
All
I
right.
snuffed the candle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as if you let's see. If you how do you snuff it?
With my
Do you,
fingers.
like with your fingers?
No,
Okay.
with the tip of my javelin.
But you smother it as opposed to like blowing it out or okay.
Yeah.
So you as soon as you do that, you find yourself teleported, appearing in a new small room, 10 foot by 10 foot. You're actually right here. And in this room, you immediately begin to choke as you are teleported into a room with no light, no sound, and no air.
Oh, goody. So where did my light spell go?
Yeah. So you, what's your Constitution modifier, or what's your Constitution score?
Well, it's 14. My modifier is 2.
Okay. Yeah. So you have like maybe you have some time before you die, but you better hurry.
So I cast continual flame.
Well, so
my javelin,
continual flame. I guess it's magic fire, right?
Yeah.
So yes, as this magic fire which does not require air, you are now able to see. And did you have dark vision before, or no? No.
No.
No. Okay, but now with the fire, you can see sculptural reliefs on the walls of this dark cell show tornadoes uprooting trees and tearing cities apart. An Aarakocra skeleton embedded in one wall holds an iron sconce bearing an unlit red candle.
I take the flame and I touch the candle.
It won't burn without air.
Damn it! Magic flame. So it's what's holding the candle?
It is an Aarakocra skeleton.
I try to blow the air that I have in my lungs on the candle.
Okay, you blow out the air that you had, which means you're choking faster. Nothing happens to the candle. However, now that you don't have any air, you make an intelligence check.
I'm not that smart. 9.
9. Okay, yeah, you're having trouble. You're starting to choke. You can make another intelligence check.
Guidance?
No, no one.
You gotta be-
get
you
out.
gotta be first for
She's in
guidance.
she's in a room all by
I could
herself.
do it to myself, but I didn't think of it because I'm not smart. I failed this again. I failed again here because of 5.
Yeah, you're starting to. Your vision is starting to swim. You're having a hard time. You can make one more check.
Guidance.
All right.
Excellent. And that was what, a +4, so 17 plus 4.
It's not just +4. You roll a d4 and add that.
Oh, I roll a d4. That was it. I forgot. I'm choking here.
All right,
Dude,
yeah.
how did I roll another 4? All right, so it's +4 anyway.
Okay, so what was the result?
21.
You
So it's-
recall that Aarakocra bones are hollow, which is part of what allows them to fly.
Hello.
Hollow.
Okay.
You have no air anywhere in the room. You're choking. The Aarakocra bones are hollow. That's the only other thing in the room.
So I put my mouth to the bones and try to breathe in?
Well, I mean, the bone is, like the surface of solid. Are you doing anything to it?
I break it.
Okay. You break it and you attempt to inhale the air that's there.
Yeah.
All right. You are teleported again. And now you teleport into this tomb and you appear upon this rune right here. And what you see is this tomb is filled with terracotta warriors kneeling in neat ranks around a polished wooden coffin. Between the warriors, 4 aisles scattered with broken pottery lead up to the coffin, whose painted lid shows a leopard with serpents sprouting from its shoulders. Now, before we do anything else, briefly, I just want to ask everyone else. The rest of you saw Nuker go through the secret door, and it closed behind her.
Right.
And then, relatively shortly thereafter, the door opens again, and she's not in there. Do any of you follow after her?
Nope.
Nope. She's gone. Lost forever. So,
I just saw another one just, drop through a pit. So
yeah.
Should we call for her? Maybe she's.
All right. So if nobody's following in, let's just finish with Nuker here. So as you have landed in this chamber, you're on one of these runes. You see that that some of them these aisles scattered with broken pottery, and let's see. I'm looking to see exactly how this room works. Okay. Okay.
Man, there was something on one of those ledges, those plaques that told me what it was, because I didn't write everything down, but Death to Fire was...
Okay. So you have appeared on this rune, and you see these aisles lined with broken pottery. You're standing on this rune right now. You see this sarcophagus in the center. All of these intact things are terracotta warrior statues.
Okay.
Smash him. You know you wanna.
Do it and get it over with.
All right, so I'm gonna cast Magic Circle.
Okay.
around myself. And
You have to pick an enemy type for that, I think.
I don't believe so. Types of creatures. Okay, I have to pick a type. Yes.
Angry statue of type.
No, it's not. You know what? Never mind. Because that didn't. All right, so we'll undo that.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna cast. No, there's gonna be traps anyway. sorry.
No, that's all
I know I'm
right.
just gonna blunder into traps, so I just wanna have fun here.
I don't mean to put pressure on you. I'm just saying
Yes, I know.
we're getting to the end.
11 minutes, TikTok, no pressure.
I'm gonna run up to that sarcophagus and take a look. I'm gonna be dumb.
So as soon as you step on a bit of the broken pottery and it goes clunk,
Yeah.
all of the terracotta warriors turn their heads to face you. But as one, they pull their swords a few inches from their scabbards. But as you take a couple more steps, all of these terracotta warriors begin attacking as you make more noise after that first one, and they hack you to pieces.
Okay.
No.
Alas, poor Nuker. She made too much noise.
Yeah, sorry.
As her name suggests.
All right, so the rest of you are still in this hallway. Your one of your friends jumped down the hole. Another went through the secret door and disappeared.
Did we hear anything when all the terracotta
Nope,
warriors?
not through all these stone walls. You're deep underground.
Okay.
Note to self: don't go wandering off. All right. Don't jump in strange holes. Don't enter strange doors.
Do you want to go back to the gargoyles and like fight them?
Yeah, maybe that might be better.
I say we do the coins for the
Tie
gargoyle.
around one of those
Yeah, I got a
pillars,
sliver.
fell down.
I put in a copper piece and a gold piece where appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a slot in each, and you have platinum and a gold.
I have silver.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said it was.
We'll say between you have one of each, and I'll tell you right now that you did. You put the appropriate coin in each one of these things. And then let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Actually, all that happens when you do that is that the Okay, I actually did something a little bit wrong before, but that's fine. As you do that, each of the gargoyles folds its arms and lowers its head. Like they're no longer in sort of an attack-like position.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can.
Rappel down. I'm gonna rappel down.
I still have spider climb, so I'm gonna climb down as well.
Okay, all right. So once again, I'm pulling open the Okay. So that's all right. That's cool. I'm getting the new level here.
As two of my teammates went down, I jumped down and activate Featherfall.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna try to climb down the rope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Featherfall.
Yeah.
I'm starting
One of the pillars and go down.
Yeah. So all of you have ways to descend safely. You find the squished form of your buddy Agnolo, who landed bad and broke his neck.
Oh!
His shell is all fractured.
Yeah,
Stuff.
bad news.
Do the quick words.
He should have done something to not just land like splat like that. But so you guys emerge here. First of all, you realize that okay, no, that's just ordinary. So in this open area right here, a pungent stench fills this pentagonal room, the walls of which are covered with riveted sheets of iron. A wild garden of sickly plants and rotting compost takes up most of the interior, and a narrow path hugs the walls between two exits. Jutting from the middle of the garden is a 6-foot-tall rusty sprinkler. In the ceiling above the sprinkler, a 10-foot-wide shaft leads straight up.
Can we?
Little glowing nuts down here.
Right now, there are 2 exits to this room. Kind of one to the sort of southwest and one sort of slightly to the northwest.
Okay, I say southwest.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Hold our breath and run.
Hold the breath of that.
All right.
And I'm still running up the walls because
You
I
guys,
can.
you take you are running down this hallway. You discover that there are some puddles of viscid gray slime in some areas as you kind of make your way through there. And as you are sprinting through that hallway, and the first of you who kind of gets to this point at the end of that hallway,
Might be me.
Okay, let's see.
That's you. Door.
Okay, so here's what happens as you enter this hallway. As all of you run into this hallway here, okay? And as you pass into that space, a door slides closed behind you. You're all in there, and you see a sign on this door say "Awaken Napaka," and you're all in this room. This hall is choked with dust and cobwebs. Up ahead, flickering lights dimly illuminate a larger hall running perpendicular to this one. Where the two walls meet, words have been scrawled on the ceiling in dried blood, and it's Awaken Napaka. And so you're in this room. Large puddles of gray slime spread across the floor of this 10-foot wide, gently sloping hallway. Candles flicker on riveted sconces, casting dim light across a sequence of sculpted reliefs, depicting humanoids with bestial heads kneeling before a black star. At the lower end of the hall, a thick purple drape hangs wall to wall. That's right here. At the upper end, the hallway terminates. But here's...
Open up the purple drape.
Well, hang on. I'm trying to read what happens here. Let's see. Okay. So you open the purple drape. Is what you do, right?
Yeah, sure.
So a 6-foot tall statue.
I can only see the top 8 feet of that room.
Okay, well, hang on just a second. I can. Okay, you're in here. Yeah. Okay. So a 6-foot tall statue of a leering 4-armed gargoyle stands against the back wall. One of its arms is broken off and lies on the floor in front of it. Its hand curled into a tight fist. The other 3 arms have their clawed hands open in such a way as to suggest they're meant to hold something. Carved into the wall above the statue is a riddle. 3 I need, then 3 more. 3 more still opens the door, and then Asarak says in your voice, screw it. And what happens immediately there is a secret door opens at the far end, and you guys see an enormous stone juggernaut thing here, which I'm going to show you a picture of here in just a second, because it's coming at you.
Ooh, giant? I have an advantage with giants.
Well, it's not a giant in the creature sense.
Little G-giant.
What this is essentially a gigantic stone steamroller.
Oh. Okay, we're all dead.
And it is making its way...
The cleaners!
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, my thing is... There we go. That's what this thing looks like, and it is coming at you. So it is rolling out of this hallway at you. It is going to basically... you know what? We're at 9:58. What happens is this thing rolls over all of you and squishes you. The end!
Pancake!
Yay!
You have been
Does it roll
annihilated
on the
by
wall
the Tomb of
too?
Annihilation.
Just like the Titanic, everybody dies.
All right.
That's the tale we tell everybody back at the bar. And we all died.
Yep.
One of us is going to end up floating downstream on a door.
Yeah. So, did you all die, or perhaps this was just a dark vision held by someone, and they wake in a fevered sweat? Or maybe you're all really dead. Who can say?
Dun, dun, dun.
Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion.
Yeah. So, we got a little
Extra life next year.
fast and loose towards the end here for fun, since we're just doing the end of this 24 hours. But now we're down to the last minute of this 24 hours of D&D. Thank you to all of you who played. Thank you to all of you who watched and who donated. Let's do one last check of the donations. I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna actually even Let's see. Do this. All right. Shoom. All right. And so, yeah, this is the extra life. We're at $800. Yay! $800 with Nutty and Tech providing that last donation to bring us up to the nice round number. All of this donation going to help children's hospitals, and it's all great. And you guys got everybody killed in fantasy, but in real life, your actions have helped to save sick kids and their families, which is, a good thing, by and large, right? I mean, I think we're probably all agreed there, right? Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Save the children.
Character death.
Yeah. So now we've got a nice, I don't know what that, the stream is kind of running there. So we got a nice parallax view as I'm showing the, yeah. And in fact, actually, we're getting a neat thing where each one is a little bit on a delay behind it, so you can see that.
Twitch Inception.
See, this is now a secret hallway we died in.
This seems like a good way to go ahead and finish out the stream right here is creating an infinite loop. And it's a little bit like you guys going into the tomb. You get the feeling that others may have gone before you and encountered different things. Others may come after you, encounter yet still other things. But your adventure was yours alone. And with that, thank you for everybody listening and watching. And we bid you adieu. And I need to rest my voice and get some sleep. And so
thank
do you guys.
Thank you for doing all of this.
Yeah,
for us.
that's a lot of work, Christiana.
Well done.
I'm impressed
Thank
with how
you,
many of these things you
GM.
can do. Yay, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
And if you need other adventurers for another campaign, let us know.
We'll do.
Definitely.
I am blessed with a plenty of people who want to play, so I will keep you in mind. There's only so many games I can run. But I will keep that in mind. So thank you, everybody. I'm glad we could have you all, and I'm going to stop the stream now.
All right.
Bye.